Yeah, the mic side. There you go.
Hello and welcome to Bird Arena. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. Had to turn the mic on. But we are back for hockey tonight as the Bobcats take on the RMU Eagles in the second of back-to-back matchups. Last night, RMU coming out with a 4-1 victory here in front of the Bobcats faithful. Not a very clean game for Ohio. Outshot 38-28, very uncharacteristic for the Bobcats. Jimmy Thomas making 34 saves in net, doing all he can, but the defense in front of him really just didn't get the job done. 3 goals in the third period after trailing 1-0 at the end of 2, and the Bobcats' night was sealed from there. Brian Lubin gets a jump time goal, but it doesn't really matter for the Bobcats. They need to get back to their game tonight. And what do they start, you think?
Yeah, I think they got to start with the start, if you will. Just 53 seconds into the game last night, Robert Morris was able to get out to a lead. Ryan Martin buries an Alex Anderson feed from a Brett Lepic pass. So, I mean, we've seen Ohio get off to a rough start at times this year, 50 seconds into the game, like I just mentioned. So they got to come out fast. They got to get that first goal. I mean, defensively, they really played all right until the third period. Like you said, 3 goals there in the first 8.5 minutes. Bobcats gave up 3. They're really in the game until that point. Much closer game than the score indicates, rather. But give Robert Morris a lot of credit. They did a great job of not letting Ohio get to the net. One of Ohio's lowest shot totals of the season. Very good defensive game to stop Ohio from getting to the middle of the ice. Robert Morris able to get to the middle of the ice, and they won by 3. That's why.
Yeah, they gave up 3 goals in the third period, but it wasn't without an effort by the Bobcats offense. They were scratching and clawing away throughout the remainder of that hockey game. 15 shots in the third after only recording 13 through the first 2 periods. So you like to see that sort of effort by this team trying to get back into the hockey game. There's a no-quit mentality for Coach Hogan, but we did see some frustration let out on the ice last night. Jake Houston slamming his stick in disgust after the 3rd goal scored by the Eagles. He was benched for the rest of the night. He'll be back in the lineup. What are you looking for from Huey as he looks to kind of make a bigger difference here tonight?
I think he just has to get back to what he's done so far this year, right? It's working. Let's keep it simple. He's been very strong on the puck, very active, moving up in the zone. We talk about a lot of Bobcats defensemen joining the rush. I don't think any other defenseman has done that more times than Jake Houston has this year. And Jake Houston's a power play presence, too. I'll tell you, he's a great power play guy. Him and Evangelista on that power play, both staples of this hockey team. Jake Houston, talk a lot about his offensive game already. Now, let's not forget about his defensive game. A great defensive player, really smart defenseman. I think Jake Houston's going to have a big game tonight. Usually we don't see him struggle like the way he did last night or get upset in the way that he did last night. But I think that he's going to have a great game tonight. I'm telling you right now.
7 power play points for number 11. He has been an anchor on the back end for the Bobcats on the man advantage. But Coach Hogan's going to shuffle the defensive pairings here tonight. And one minor change on the forward lines as well. Kyle Craddock going out with an injury in the 3rd period. Looked to me like he was clutching his side. I think he might have pulled a muscle or something like that. We haven't heard official confirmation about what he is ailing with, but he will be out of the lineup. Timmy Ternot takes his spot on the first line. But on the defensive pairing, as we mentioned, Jake Fiala and Tom Evans getting the start on the first pairing for the Bobcats. Houston and Gross on the second. Hazel and Bayard on the third. Garrett Jenkins is dressing as the 7th defenseman. We'll see if he comes out. Last night, he was in the lineup as the team's 7th defenseman, but he never took the ice. So we'll see how that develops as well. But what do you think about these defensive pairings and Coach Hogan's willingness to kind of mix it up?
Well, the first thing that stands out to me, Shane, is where Tom Evans is in this lineup. We've seen Coach Hogan and the rest of his coaching staff's trust in Tom Evans grow as this hockey season progresses. And subsequently, we've seen Tom Evans' game grow. I think the more opportunities he's given, the better he plays. We saw one weekend there where he had a number of offensive contributions. Wasn't able to find the score sheet last night, but definitely had some good times, some good keeps, played a good defensive game. Really, Ohio was playing a good defensive game as a whole there until they really fell apart in the 3rd period. So I like that responsibility that they're giving Tom Evans. I like that they're letting him play with Jake Fiala. I think that'll be a big confidence boost for Tom, and it's always great when you get to play with that captain Jake Fiala. He had a good game last night.
I think those two mesh really well together. They haven't seen much time on the ice,
yeah,
but if you look at their games, I think that Jake Fiala, more of a stay-at-home defenseman. We've seen him join the rush more this year. We've seen him last night get low, get physical, disrupt the goaltender on those forechecking opportunities. But Tom Evans is the exact opposite. He's a stay-at-home defenseman. He knows his role. He doesn't try to step outside the boundaries too much. but he has shot the puck a lot more this year, something that we mentioned last night, something that we mentioned Coach Hogan has really liked from him, and I think that's a major reason why he is getting the nod here on the first line. He has done everything that Coach Hogan has asked, and then some. Tom Evans has been an integral part of this defensive unit this year, and they're sure glad that they have him on the back end. But he's going to need to be big, as well as the rest of the guys, in front of Jimmy Thomas, who is making yet another start for the Bobcats, his 19th of the season. 13-4-1 after last night's loss, but his peripherals are still looking very good. Jimmy Thomas definitely was not the reason why the Bobcats came up short yesterday.
Yeah, Jimmy Thomas played a good game. Some of those goals he didn't really have a chance on, like that final goal in the third period by Robert Morris to go up for it. Reed Kelly able to just take advantage of a bad turnover by Ohio, beat Thomas cleanly on the breakaway. Thomas was beaten on the breakaway once more on the other night. It's something we usually don't see out of Jimmy. It was a lot of those goals he didn't really have a chance on. I know the first one in the first period too, his defense really wasn't helping him out. A lot of 2-on-1 that was able to be finished there as the first goal of the game. So, I mean, we'll see. I don't expect him to struggle again tonight. I don't really even think he struggled that much last night, like you were kind of saying. The stats
he made some big saves.
Yeah, he kept him in the game until the third period, right? So I don't expect another tough performance from Jimmy Thomas, but that does have to be tough when they rely on him as much as they do. Remember, he's only a sophomore and plays out of this world at times, but he has a big load on his shoulders. It's only natural when they use him for all but one start. That there's occasionally going to be a few hiccups in there. We saw that the Illinois game, I believe it was a few weekends ago, where Ohio got ran 7-0 to 7-1.
Yep. And Jimmy Thomas, as we mentioned, 13-4-1. He is third in the CSCHL in save percentage, third in goals against, clicking in at just over 2. Great numbers for number 30. And the Bobcats, as a forward unit too, are among the top leaders in the CSCHL. Gianni Evangelista still with a hold on that top point getter column, despite not getting on the board last night. Number 7 has been somebody that Coach Hogan has really relied on this year. What does he need to do to find himself on the stat sheet tonight?
Yeah, Gianni Evangelista, like you mentioned, big point scorer, 26 points, 19 games played. I think Gianni Evangelista has to find himself an open ice more. Robert Morris did a great job there, defenseman, of neutralizing the Bobcats' breakout, the Bobcats' attack. Really not a whole lot of space. They kept up the pressure, even away from the puck at times, Shane, even on those weak side plays. So if you're Gianni Evangelista, or if you're this Ohio Bobcats coaching staff, you got to look to get him into open space, let him make those plays that he's so accustomed to. And, a way for them to do that maybe would be to draw some penalties. Gianni Evangelista, very effective on the power play, leads this team with 4 power play goals. So if Ohio gets on the power play, look for number 7. We're going to be saying his name a lot.
0 for 3 on the power play last night were the Bobcats. The Eagles were 0 for 2 as well. Both teams not getting on the score sheet there, but Ohio has had some difficulties on the power play this year at 15.8%. The Bobcats are last in the CSCHL in power play conversion percentage there. What does Ohio really lack on the power play that is not leading to goals? Because you've seen them move the puck well throughout the season. They've got the firepower up front, but they're not getting those goal-scoring opportunities.
Yeah, it's strange because they started out so poorly. There was a streak of 20-some-odd, I don't remember what the exact number is, power play opportunities where they didn't convert, and then the Jamestown series, they kind of got things rolling on the power play, fortunately. But yeah, the opportunities are there. They're spreading the ice. It looks as if they have more of a plan at the beginning of the season. Didn't really look like there's much of a strategy in place. But if anything on the power play, I'd like to see them shoot the puck a little bit more. They do a good job of creating space, and they really focus on working that puck at the point with their defensemen, and then occasionally working it over to Gianni Evangelista there in the Ovechkin area of the ice, if you will, right around those face-off dots, looking for the one-timer from number 7. So I think if anything, they just have to put the puck on net more. I don't think there's a lot to be done different strategically on the power play, but I think they have taken some steps forward. I think that statistic is deceiving. There was one game where they were able to hang up 5 power play goals, and they're still at that tough percentage, but they are struggling on the power play. Like you mentioned, 0 for 3 last night, and I think they got to draw more opportunities. Robert Morris was a very disciplined team last night. Didn't wind up in the box much at all. So Ohio, you got to get more opportunities though as well.
And you have to credit Christopher Mallon last night. Another big night for the RMU Eagle goaltender, making 27 of 28 saves to go to 10-1 on the season. He has won 6 straight hockey games. This team has won 7 straight hockey games. And when we take a quick commercial break, we will break down what the RMU Eagles do so well. Stay tuned for the Bobcats pregame show here on ABW. And we are back at Bird Arena, about 13 minutes until the start of action here as Ohio takes on RMU in the second of back-to-back games here, looking to split the first series of the year against the Eagles. Even the Eagles last night came out flying, 38 shots to 28 in favor of RMU. We saw some great individual efforts by guys like Alex Anderson, by guys like Ryan Martin, Josh Hart with a pretty goal, Nate Chastain with another shorthanded effort, and Reed Kelly finishing off the scoring for the Eagles. Chris Mallon last night with a great effort in that 27 of 28 saves. We saw Cole Semchak come out here first. Is he going to get the nod here tonight, or are they going to go back to Mallon?
Yeah, it appears that Cole Semchak would get the nod, right? Usually the first goalie that takes the ice is the goalie that gets the start in net. Shane, you were just talking about individual performances you want to highlight. I want to highlight someone who didn't find their way on the score sheet last night for Robert Morris. I thought Scott Koch played a very strong game. I mean, we said his name a lot. He was all over the ice, contributing in the offensive and defensive side of the game, constantly touching the puck. Very physical game from Koch last night. Kind of a grinder. Kind of one of those guys that reminded me a little bit of Tyler Harkins. Kind of you hate him if he's not on your team, but you like him if he plays for you. So look out for Scott Koch. Sneaky good player. Yeah,
I thought Mike Cacciato also had a pretty good game last night. He had several chances down low in the third period, stymied by Jimmy Thomas, but not certainly without the effort there from Cacciato, number 19. Look for him tonight as well. We saw Gavin Burback get denied a goal that honestly I thought he had.
Yeah, I think Ohio caught a break there. I agree.
Picked Jimmy Thomas's pocket, high right, went in and out so quickly the rest didn't know what to do. But there was no noise coming off the post, no noise coming off the crossbar. I think it's almost undeniable that the puck had to have come in and come out. It came out so quickly.
Yeah, maybe that's why we're not referees. We just don't understand. But yeah, I would agree with you, Shane. I thought Burback was robbed of a goal there, though. I thought Nate Chastain got a lot better as the night went on. First period didn't really see a lot of ice time. Looked a little sluggish, looked a little bit of a slow start, but was able to come and score a goal later in that game. Chastain is fourth on this team in points. Shane, they have 5 skaters, Robert Morris does, who are point-a-game player. Chastain is one of them. He is 19 in 18 games played.
The leading scorer last night did not play. Daniel Doyle out of the lineup for the Eagles. Did not see him on the ice in pregame warmups. I'd like to think that he will probably not dress again tonight. Maybe a small break for the Bobcats. But RMU's got plenty of weapons to counter Doyle. They've got Turner, Sam Turner. They got Ryan Martin, who got on the stat sheet last night with his 8th goal of the season. You mentioned Chastain scoring his 6th. Josh Hart looking very good last night as well. This is a deep Eagles team, one that scored 83 goals through its first 18 games right now. On pace for over 4 or 5 goals a game. Ohio's definitely going to have its hands full here tonight. Not a very characteristic loss last night for the Bobcats, but if they sleep kind of lightly, RMU's going to make them burn.
Yeah, RMU, speaking of burning, is hot. They have won 7 in a row coming into this game. Shane, like you said, Ohio comes out flat. Robert Morris is going to make him pay for it. We saw it last night. I expect an inspired performance from Ohio tonight. Usually we don't see them, like you said, struggle as much as they did last night. I look back to that Illinois game where Ohio lost 7-1. Kind of some parallels, if you will, between those 2 games last night. Next game, Ohio came out guns blazing, got the job done. I think we're the same thing here tonight. I would be very surprised if we saw another lopsided hockey game in favor of those Golden Eagles from Robert Morris.
All right, Ethan, you sound pretty positive in regards to the Bobcats.
I'm a positive guy.
If you had a prediction, what would you say tonight? What's the score?
If I had a prediction, well, let me tell you, I do have a prediction, lucky you. I would say Ohio's going to win this game 4-3 in overtime. I think it's going to be another very close game. I would be surprised if it was a blowout either way. But I like Ohio to get it done. I think maybe a late goal. I think Ohio could find themselves down at some points in this game, but I think they're a resilient team. They've showed that to us a lot this year. I think they're going to get more shots on goal too, Shane. Look for a regular amount of shots on goal that we're used to seeing from Ohio. So maybe somewhere in that 30 to 40 range. We'll see, I like Ohio to win. I really do. I like them to bounce back.
Now, you've seen our fair share of overtime games here at Bird this year. Some fun extra hockey. That would be a great night of hockey here. But I think I'm going to go along those lines. I'll say 4-2.
Oh, yeah.
Ohio. I think that they do come out and flip the script here tonight. RMU might be playing a little bit back on their heels at points in this game if they get up. I think Ohio makes them pay in those regards. Not the same effort we saw last night from the Bobcats. A renewed presence in the offensive zone. Get that forecheck going. Keep the puck deep and keep the puck coming either Cole Semchak way or Chris Mallon's way, and Ohio's going to be just fine. Get more shots from the defensemen, too. I noticed that last night. They had the defensemen pinch and they had the defensemen get involved, but they weren't getting those consistent shots from the blue line. You saw when Ohio puts up 40, 50 shots a game, it's mostly because they're getting that pressure from the top of the zone, and they weren't getting it last night, so I think that is something that Ohio needs to work on as well. But they're going to make those adjustments. I think that they'll come out and get the job done here tonight. But we are going to send you down to the ice right now. The players are about to come out of their locker rooms, and we're about to start announcing the lineups and getting the national anthem underway. It is Teddy Bear Toss night here at Burt Arena, 4th annual event. And after Ohio scores their first goal tonight, we're going to see Bears flying on the ice, Ethan. This was something that we weren't prepared for at all last year. Caught us completely off guard, and it was hilarious. I think it's going to be funny again tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. We didn't even know it was going to happen. Teddy bears just come pouring down on the ice. Some people say it was raining cats and dogs. Last year it was raining teddy bears when we did this. Let's hope Ohio gets one early and we can see it happen in the first couple minutes of this game, huh?
Yeah, stay tuned for that, folks. Supporting a great cause. All of those Bears going to charity. But as we mentioned, we will send you down to the ice now as both teams are coming out, and we will see you on the other side of the national anthem.
Starting lineups of the Robert Morris University Eagles. At left defense, number 20, Bo Borowski. At right defense, number 11, Dylan Holt. At left wing, number 8, Gavin Burbach. At right wing, number 9, Cody Malsby. At center, number 10, Nathan Jasty. And in goal, number 1, Cole Semchak. The Eagles are coached by Chico Adrades with assistant coaches TJ Caravas and Chris Wickersham. And now it's time for the starting lineups of your Ohio At
And there you have it, folks. We are about ready to get started here tonight. As we mentioned earlier, not too much changing on the Bobcats forward unit. Mike Pulisic, Gianni Evangelista, and Timmy Turneau up on the first line. Turneau replaces Kyle Craddock, who went out in the third period with what looked to be a midsection injury or a lower body injury. Tyler Harkins on the second line, centered by Brian Lubin and Matt Rudin, fills out the second pairing. Third line is Garrett Elmore, Cody Black, and Gabe Lampron. Fourth line will be a mix of Drew Crandall and Zach Frank. Defensive pairings are as follows: Jake Fiala and Tom Evans up on the first unit, Houston and Gross on the second, Hazel and Bayard on the third, and Garrett Jenkins will be that roving seventh man. Jimmy Thomas gets the start in net, and the Bobcats will look to get their 15th win tonight here as they avenge a tough 4-1 loss to RMU last night.
Gotta have a fast start here if you're Ohio. 53 seconds into the game last night. Robert Morris was able to get a goal. Let's see what happens here in the first.
And we are underway as the Eagles have the puck early on. Centering was Chastain and picked up by Bayard. Back to the neutral zone, the puck goes, and Holt will recover in his own end. Evangelista pokes it back to Bayard, and on his backhand, number 14 will throw it over to his defensive partner, Grant Hazel. Played on to Mike Pulisic, and back to the neutral zone as Gavin Burback looks on.
Baird and Grant Hazel. You talk about physicality on your defensive pair, we're going to see a lot of it.
Burback with a second effort attempt there, trudging through the neutral zone. Bobcats take it off the feet. Turn over to Mike Pulisic. He buries it! And exactly what the doctor ordered here as the Teddy Bears come flying on the ice. That took no time at all. And getting back to basics was Mike Pulisic.
Yeah, we haven't seen Mike bury the biscuit in the basket for a few games here, but he gets the Bear goal, Shane, the Bear goal. Mike Pulisic finishes that great feed, and Ohio is up 1-0, 53 seconds into the game. How ironic is that? 53 seconds into both of these games, we've seen one of these teams jump out to a 1-0 lead.
An absolutely incredible start and an absolutely incredible scene here as Teddy Bears are strewn across the ice here. It's going to take a few minutes to pick up all of these stuffed animals, but Mike Pulisic does not care. His 8th goal of the year gives the Bobcats an early 1-0 lead. And this is exactly what Coach Hogan wanted from his team, coming out and combating that tough start last night with an answer early on here by your senior assistant captain, Mike Pulisic.
Yeah, they looked very quick to start this game, Shane. We're able to take control of that first faceoff, really opening up the ice. Nick Gross, Sean Baird, both helping pick up some Bears there. I saw Bobcats goalie James Thomas also assisting, picking up some Bears with this nice big goalie stick there. Nice big goalie stick.
And we've got, it's a team effort out here. We've got some youngsters on the ice taking a tumble, trying to get these Bears collected and into bags. All of these going to charity, a great cause that the Bobcats put on for the last 4 years, and an even better way to capitalize an early 1-0 lead. Absolutely great start for Ohio. Evangelista back out on the ice with Timmy Turneau and his left winger, Mike Pulisic. These guys getting an early advantage here, and this was exactly what Ohio needed from that first line too. We talked about Gianni Evangelista not being able to find the score sheet last night. His unit answers in a big way here.
Yeah, Gianni Evangelista picking up the assist right there. His team leading 27th point in tonight's 20th game. And Mike Pulisic obviously getting the goal there.
And there's a raucous atmosphere here at Byrd Arena following that goal. It is incredibly loud in here, some of the loudest I've seen in a while. And there's not even a full house yet.
Yeah, that John Cena song gets the people going. Definitely provocative, Shane.
And the two sides line up at center red to drop the faceoff following Mike Pulisic's 8th goal of the year. RMU will look to answer here as they dump the puck into the Bobcats' end. Jake Houston scoops it up with his glove along the ice and plays it along to Gianni Evangelista. Over to Timmy Turneau entering the Eagles' end. Picked up by Gross, and he'll circle the wagon around the net. Up top to Houston. Kept in along the blue line, off the helmet of Alex Anderson, and he will jostle with Houston for the puck. Coming up with it is Rizzo. Shot there by number 18, Brett Lepic. Saved by Thomas for a whistle.
Shane, tonight's officials are head by Referee Scott McClement, linesman Jake Music, and linesman Nate Schmidt.
We will have a face-off here to the right of Thomas Brian Lubin, and the Bobcats second pairing out here to counter RMU's second line. Connor McGovern with the puck in his own end. Played along the neutral zone and up to the stick of Jake Fiella. Batted into the Eagles zone by Tyler Harkins, chasing on his Lubin. And up with the puck to the hash before Jake Fiella interrupted the play. The Eagles have to try again here.
Very good shift from Fiella, able to bank that puck off the boards there early in that shift through the body around. Number 17 is active already.
Senior captain dumps it back in for Ohio. Tyler Harkins collects it with his skate along the left hash. Turned over to the Eagles, and up with it is Sam Turner. He will make an attempt on the puck before Connor McGovern helps him out. Shot there by Koch, and he buries it. Scott Koch gets a one-time feed, and he knows exactly what to do with it. Rips the shot in the slot and knocks this game up at 1. Ethan, you were talking about Scott Koch in the outset and how you thought he played a really good game last night. He does bury the puck to give his team their first goal of the evening. That was a good call by you, I guess.
Yeah, number 22 in maroon and gold able to finish that goal. Tom Evans and Sean Baird just find themselves out of position. Jimmy Thomas, not much you can do there. Great finish there by number 22, Scott Koch. 5'9", but plays bigger than that, folks.
And that is Scott Koch's 9th goal of the season, and an absolute weapon for the Eagles. They're getting scoring from all ends of the ice. And number 22 helps them out with that bingo. The Bobcats will look to respond here as they have the puck in the Eagles zone, kept in by Sean Bayard at the top of the Bobcats blue line there. The puck will come to the other side where Gabe Lampron swats it back in on the backhand, picks it up with his hand, and we will get a whistle on offside play.
Shane getting word now that Chase McGovern will officially be awarded the assist on that goal. It is Koch from McGovern.
Zach Frank out here for Ohio. Matt Rudin playing alongside Crandall and Frank on the fourth line. And Jake Houston on the back end. We'll dump it into the netting. We'll get another whistle here.
Yeah, we've seen Ohio do that a few times here this weekend. Just launch that puck in, intentionally try and get it deflected off the blocker there of the Robert Morris goalie and set up a face-off in this end. Coach Sean Hogan encouraging his team. Good work from the bench.
Cole Simchak looks on as his team wins the face-off in their own zone. Cole Simchak with a .307 goals against this year, making the start for the Eagles in place of Christopher Mallon. Play there by Chastain to the net, and he's saved by Jimmy Thomas. Nate Chastain with a shorthanded goal in yesterday's game almost buries the puck once more.
Yeah, Chastain, great move to walk right around Jake Houston there.
Rizzo with the puck, skating out of his own end. With speed comes number 16 through the neutral zone. Pass along to Burback. He's got Malsby going to the net, but the Bobcats are able to keep that play away from Jimmy Thomas. Picked up by Crandall and out to Jake Houston. Stutter step by Houston. Tried to get around Nate Chastain and could not do so. Brett Lepick takes the puck and sends it to the neutral zone. Picked up at the red line by Fiella and deposited back in.
A lot more wide open game than we saw here last night, Shane. A lot more ice area. The game being played in both zones, not so much the neutral zone here in the early going.
And Evangelisti with the puck at his feet, out to Mike Blasix. Chipped over to Mike Blasix from the corner. Up to Tom Evans, over to Fiella, shot by Fiella. Low along the ice. Evangelisti scoops it up, down by the goal, and turns and shoots with it. Cole Semchak there with the save. And finally out of the zone go the Eagles. This is Brett Lepick stopping and starting at the foot of the Bobcats' end. Jake Fiella steals the puck from him and goes the other way with it. Number 17 sends it down the ice. We will get an ice on the play. About 4.5 minutes into the contest. Shots 3-2 in favor of the Bobcats, but the score is even after a couple quick goals.
Yeah, Ohio playing a much quicker game already. Definitely a point of emphasis to get the puck on the net more. They're leading in the shot clock 3-2 here in the early going.
Evangelisti ties up Martin and wins the faceoff. Fiella has some trouble with the puck in his own end behind the net. Turns it over to Timmy Turneau. And out of the zone go the Bobcats. Mike Palasic shoots one from the top of the zone. Semchak watches on as that puck goes wide. Brian Lubin banks one off the boards. Played on by Lepic. Jimmy Thomas settles that puck off the Lepic dump-in. And the Bobcats have speed here as Brian Lubin deposits the puck toward the center of the net. Saved by Cole Semchak. A streaking Matt Rudin almost got a piece of that puck as he came into the crease.
Yeah, and how about that nice little chip pass there from Tyler Harkins, just advanced that puck along. We've seen Ohio with a couple of nice passing plays earlier, and 2 on that last shift. Timmy Trudeau banked that puck off the board, got the rush going the other way. Ohio much better with the passing here in the early going last night's game.
Played on by McGovern off the face-off win for the Eagles. And number 27 turns around and gives it to Stover. Brian Lubin disrupts the play and sends the puck along for Matt Rudin. He battles with Lucas Stover, and Stover comes out with the puck over to his defensive partner. And back up top, Sam Turner watches on as Josh Hart engages Sean Baird at the bottom of the Bobcat zone. Matt Rudin makes an effort on that puck, and it is played ahead for the Bobcats. They have some pressure here by Sam Turner. He will knock Rudin off the puck, and it'll come to the stick of Connor McGovern.
A good play there by Rudin to play that puck from his backside, just send it back down into the zone.
Dumped in by Gnani over to Koch and left for Reed Kelly. Reed Kelly with his first goal of the season. Shot there by Cacciato as that puck came to the center of the ice. Cody Black on the backhand over to Jake Houston, and out of the zone. Chris Gordillis will pick it up at the red line. Gordillis with the puck now. Back ends into his own end. Scott Koch with a touch pass left for Nick Gross. And number 13 will pick it up and dump it back into the Eagles zone.
Ohio with Erdy with much more pressure as we're seeing here on this shift. It's a great example than they did last night. Definitely much more aggressive forecheck, much more north and south game.
Elmore pushing and shoving with Gordillis down low. Excuse me, that was Rizzo. And we'll get a whistle here. Could see a couple penalties going to each side as Rizzo and Elmore took exception to some chippy play down in the corner.
Yeah, everyone just got tied up in the corner down there. Looked like there might be a board battle upcoming, but it looks like we might have some offsetting penalties here.
And Nick Rizzo and Garrett Elmore are heading to the box. Looks as though both sides will send 4 to the ice, and we will get some more action here as both sides go on a 4-on-4.
Ohio going with the 1 defenseman approach right now with 4 skaters on the ice. Jake Houston is back. Cody Black's going to take this face off.
Puck went on to Houston. He will walk the zone to the center of the ice for Lampron. Couldn't collect it. Backhanded by Lampron to the hash for Houston. At his feet. Picked up by Koch, but sent back in by Nick Gross. Out of the zone goes the puck. Cacciato has trouble playing it, and Ohio will get tied up at the red line. 3 Bobcats in on the play. Cody Black will get the puck loose. And back to Gordillis and McGovern. Nate Chastain leaves one for Gordillis on the opposite side of the ice. Jimmy Thomas lets Jake Houston know he has a man on him. Houston will leave the puck for his defensive partner, Nick Gross. Played on by Cody Black to Jake Houston. Through the zone goes Houston. Leaves it for Frank. And Frank can't catch up to the puck. Jake Fiella will send one toward the net from the blue line. And Gavin Burback with the puck at his stick. Now through the zone, over to Nate Chastain. Left for Burback, back to Chastain. Nice passing by the Eagles here as they look to create some space. Borowski with the puck, shot blocked by Zach Frank. Back to Dylan Holt. Down low for Chastain, over to Holt again. Shot by Holt, block again by Jake Houston. The Bobcats getting in the lane of the Eagles here as Dylan Holt with the puck sends it over to the other side for Borowski. Another shot and a big save by Jimmy Thomas. Joe Borowski unleashing that puck early on here. Jimmy Thomas in the Bobcats defense there for the answer.
A couple of nice blocks on that last shift change. Zach Frank with one of them. Took it on the knee. Appears to be just fine though.
Bobcats, Tom Evans and Grant Hazel look on as their forwards are in on the Eagles zone. Cole has the puck. And Harrison Cole walks around one Bobcat. Can't get around Evangelisti. Evangelisti and Pulisic battle in the corner. Pulisic out with the puck. Pressured by Borowski and Harrison Cole. And finally, the Eagles get it out as Rizzo is back on the ice. Both teams playing 5-on-5 hockey again. Picked up by the Eagles through the neutral zone. And then Alex Anderson centers one for Connor McGovern. Could not get it around Timmy Turneau.
That puck played off the referee there, Shane. Ohio coming back the other way.
Turneau filling in on the first line tonight. He saw action on the third line yesterday. Kyle Craddock's injury forces Coach Hogan's hand here. Timmy Turneau has played on the first line earlier in the season. Certainly accustomed to an increased log.
He's definitely earned it, Shane. Timmy Turneau having himself a nice season in his first year in Hunter green and white.
And we'll get a whistle here in the corner. Some more action down low as these two teams are really chippy along the boards. Gianni Evangelesti skating to the box.
Yeah, we'll see what for, but very physical hockey game here tonight. Very important hockey game in the CHL standings. Ohio enters down 2 points from the division lead. Robert Morris has 11. Lindenwood was able to secure a victory last night, move up in front of Ohio. They have 10. Ohio sits in third with 9.
And the Bobcats will go to the penalty kill here last night. 2 for 2 in penalty kill attempts, keeping RMU off the board. And they win the faceoff right off the draw and send it back into the Eagle zone. Evangelesti serving 2 minutes for what looked to be a boarding penalty. And the Eagles will try to grab a lead here as they enter the Bobcats' end. McGovern pressured there by Jake Houston. The puck comes out of the zone as Chastain can't get a hold on it. Picked off by Cody Black at the blue line, and he will try to make his way toward the net. Sam Turner with nice defense forcing him to the outside, but Black still has possession of the puck here.
Sam Turner had to play some nice defense there. He's a costly turnover.
Cody Black against the world at the Eagles' end there is 5 RMU maroon and golds were on number 18. He had no help from his men who were sitting at the top of the zone. And the Eagles will take the puck back up toward the Bobcats' end.
Ohio keeping it very simple when Robert Morris enters the zone, not letting them get deep. As soon as they get that puck, they're sending it out.
We're seeing them play a trap-style game here on the penalty kill, not giving them many opportunities to enter through the neutral zone. Could have been a tripping penalty there. The rest will let them play on. Brett Lepic with the puck. Walks toward the center of the ice. Can't get around Nick Gross and Timmy Turneau. Banked off the back end and settled by Cole Semchek. As the Eagles will have to regroup here. They have 30 seconds left on the power play. Lucas Stover tried to connect with Alex Anderson. Could not do so. Grant Hazel with a loud bank off the boards and back into the Eagles zone.
Just 13 seconds of running for Ohio, away from another very successful penalty kill. Penalty kills look good this weekend so far, Shane.
Ryan Martin, the goal scorer yesterday, has a puck lost in his feet as Gabe Lampron finds some space. Nice play by Rizzo to separate him from the puck. And it will go into the stands. Watch out, folks.
8:35 remaining here in the first period. Not a lot of shots on goal. Robert Morris leads in that statistic, 5 shots to 4. Much more wide open game, much more quick moving game. Last night's game was covered in a coat of sledge. Very physical defensive game. Not here tonight. Open ice, Shane.
It almost seemed as last night the Bobcats' hands were tied at points. Tonight they seem a little bit more free and open, a little bit more flowy. I think that their game has looked a lot better in the early going to this point. Picked up by the Eagles, shot there, and a save by Thomas Gnani with the attempt down low. Cody Black picks up the puck behind the goal line and moves it up to Garrett Elmore. He will trip over the blue line. And Gabe Lampron will pressure as Sam Turner and a slew of Eagles look on. A dump to the hand of Sean Baird, grabbed out of the air by number 14 and passed along to Grant Hazel. Tyler Harkins in on the play. No icing as number 22 beats Brett Lepic to the puck. Nick Rizzo to the puck.
Great skill play there by number 22. Good ice area alertness to win that icing battle.
Drew Crandall working over Cacciato and Koch. And another physical play by Crandall along the boards, keeping that puck on the heels of the Bobcats. Up top for Fiala. Shot by Fiala. Looks like it might have hit a piece of an Eagle defender. That one will go out of play for a whistle.
Yeah, certainly blocked there by Robert Morris. Big cheer from the bench there. Not often we see that. Shots being blocked, often such an enthusiastic response, but Robert Morris, Coach Chico, very enthusiastic about the little things in hockey.
RMU has been a very successful program, and that is the reason why they're not afraid to get down and dirty to make plays for their team. Borowski behind his own net. Over to Koch. Pressured there by Frank. And that puck will come to Fiala. He will deposit it low. Koch again at the hash, out of the zone. Goes number 22. Skating along, leaves it for Kelly. Puts the brakes on and deposits it back down low for Koch. Fiala on Chastain. The Bobcats turn over that puck. Shot there by Koch. Jimmy Thomas alert for the save.
Yeah, bad angle there on that shot, but Thomas able to turn it aside. Here comes Evangelesti.
In the zone is number 7. He will send it cross ice for Timmy Turneau, and the two cannot connect. The Eagles get it back out. Bobcats are outside, so they'll have to regroup.
This Turneau play 6 Evangelesti lines look very good here in the early going. Lots of opportunities in that goal there. The first 53 seconds.
Stover takes it to the Bobcats blue line and no further. The Bobcats now with the puck in the Eagles zone. Evangelisti wide to the net. Semchak with the save, and he will fall on it for the whistle. 6 minutes and 1 second left in the period. Shot 6-5 in favor of Robert Morris. Cole Semchak hasn't had a lot of action tonight, but he has answered the bell for the Eagles ever since the first minute.
Yeah, shot from a bad angle. Still a good shot. Shooters do indeed have to shoot. Gianni Evangelesti putting one on net right there. Good play.
Over to Houston, an absolute ripper by number 11 off the glass. And the Bobcats will pressure down low as Chastain takes the puck out. Over to Burback and through the neutral zone. Nick Gross picks it up in his own end. Off the boards to Jake Houston and up along for Rudin. Left for Lubin, and Rudin in the slot, shot there, wide open net and a save by Semchak as he got back on Tyler Harkins. Another shot by Jake Houston. The Bobcats are looking energized here as they're getting pressure in the offensive zone. We'll have a whistle as Nick Rizzo plays the puck.
A penalty upcoming here.
The captain for the Eagles pleading his team's case. It looks as though Rizzo will be the one heading to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. And the Bobcats will enter the power play for the first time here tonight. We mentioned yesterday they were 0 for 3 on the man advantage at 15.8%. They are the lowest converting team in the CSCHL. A goal here would give them a 2-1 lead and would certainly answer some questions about the Bobcats' propensity to score on the power play.
Yeah, we're going to see Nick Gross and Jake Fiala out here on the power play for Ohio. Nick Gross had a great goal on the power play a couple of weeks back. Look for him to definitely take some scoring opportunities.
Bobcats work it low and back up top as Mike Palasic passes it to Nick Gross. At the top of the circle is Fiala. He will walk it toward the middle of the ice before feeding it to Palasic on the other side. Time and space for number 28 as he dishes it to Cody Black. Turning around is Black and giving it back to Mike Palasic at the top of the zone. Over to Jake Fiala. Nick Gross now. Over to Mike Palasic. Shot by number 28.
There's an RMU player without a stick, Shane. Ohio's got him pinned right now.
Fiala to the middle of the ice for Cody Black. Chunk that puck, and it'll go to the corner. Nick Gross pinching low, and Cody Black helping out. The Eagles finally do get the puck out of their own end as Ryan Martin walks it past Jake Fiala down to the corner. Gianni Evangelesti steals the puck as Martin heads to the bench. The Bobcats will break out once more as Fiala comes up ahead with it. Passes it to Houston, and a nice move through the neutral zone as Houston passes to Evangelesti. Cross ice for Tyler Harkins. Off the boards and played on by number 22 over to Grant Hazel. And Hazel will dump it into the netting for another whistle.
That puck deflected very high into the air. I was wondering if it was ever going to come down, but a good idea there by Hazel to take that shot. Blocked. Hazel is going to be out there with Jake Houston right now on the power play. Look for number 11 to have a significant amount of involvement on this next shift.
43 seconds remaining on the power play for the Bobcats. Matt Rudin tumbles to the ice as the Eagles get the puck back out of the zone. Alec Anderson backhanding one off the boards. Jake Houston walking it back over the blue line before being picked off by Josh Hart. Jimmy Thomas will let Grant Hazel take the puck in the corner. As the Bobcats have about 20 seconds remaining here. Time for one final rush as Tyler Harkins enters the zone. Cutting toward the middle of the ice, and that one slivers to the crease. Semchak with the save. Tyler Harkins with speed, cutting the corner and taking it to the net.
Yeah, almost getting the entire corner all the way to the net. I don't think that shot got on net initially, but nonetheless ended up in the glove of Semchak. Will have a face-off upcoming to his left.
Evangelesi out to take the face-off against Chastain. The two tie up in the dot. And the Eagles get the puck out. That is Gavin Burback with speed. It comes number 8. Shot by Burback and a big glove by Thomas. He will play the puck on for Evangelisti. And number 7 comes through the zone with speed. Evangelisti on a mission right now, sending one back toward the slot. And Sean Baird will have to pick it up at the hash. Bobcats unsuccessful on their first attempt on the power play tonight. They will get some fresh bodies out here as Garrett Elmore and Cody Black step onto the ice. Burback with the puck in the Bobcats zone again. Baird with a body there, taking down number 8. The two exchanging shoves in the corner as Ohio goes back toward the Eagles' end.
And no surprise, Sean Baird with a big hit on Gavin Burback. Sean Baird, very physical player, always going to be involved.
Harrison Cole with the puck in his own zone. Passes over to Connor McGovern, back to Cole. And over to McGovern once more. Chip play by Hart. Sean Baird will pick the puck up at the red line and send it back in. Drew Crandall with speed, disrupting the play down low. Malsby with the puck at his stick will direct it into the Bobcat zone. And Yanni will leave it for Hart. Back to Yanni, back in. And Jimmy Thomas looking for the puck. He will find it at his feet and fall on it for the whistle. Nick Yanni almost sneaking that one in on the backhand as he wrapped it around the net.
Shane, I think he might have. I think that puck may have crossed the line. Chico Amato wants a goal over there. I think Ohio may have just gotten away with one for the second day in a row as Drew Crandall's going to be heading to the bench. Gave a little shove after the play there.
Let's go, boys!
Unfortunately, we don't have instant replay up here, so we can't get a second look at that one, but if your eyes were right there, they might have gotten away with a goal. But nonetheless, they will get a power play opportunity from it. The Eagles on the man advantage here. Last night we mentioned they went 0 for 2. And we'll see what they're able to do with this one as Drew Crandall heads to the box. Evangelesi out here for the Bobcats taking the draw. He is countered by Ryan Martin. The Bobcats will win it. Fiala looks on as that puck comes to the Baymont in Sweet Sign. And Rudin bats it out of the zone.
Great penalty killer Matt Rudin is.
All right, boys, let's go.
Stover off the end board. Over to Martin. Slippery pass over to Anderson. A nice move by number 25, faking out Matt Rudin. That puck comes to the stick of Jake Fiala, and he will get it out of the zone again.
Ohio with a huge kill here in the last minute and a half of this period. You'd hate to see him give up a goal right here in a period in which they've played so well.
And here is Martin with the puck. Scored his 8th goal of the season last night. Tied for the team lead in points last year with 43. He is a weapon. Bobcats get the puck back into the Eagles zone once more. A minute has gone off the board here on the Eagles power play. They will have one more to work with as Gavin Burback directs the puck back to Stover. And Cody Black picks it up off the bounce. And a pass there to Timmy Turneau. He could not corral the puck. Almost a golden opportunity for the Bobcats as they caught the Eagles sleeping.
Yeah, Semchak beat cleanly, sprawls across the crease. Timmy Trudeau couldn't calm it down. Certainly would have been a goal for Ohio.
Jake Houston facing pressure from two Eagles. That is Gavin Burback and Cody Malsby down low. Burback comes out with the puck and sends it up high for Dylan Holt. To the board for Burback, over to Harrison Cole. Played along for Dylan Holt. And at the bottom of the circle, Chastain's shot blocked by Houston. Jake Houston has stepped in front of a couple biscuits tonight. He has certainly been a road warrior for Ohio.
Good defensive performance here in the first by Houston.
Burback through the zone again, left for Nick Gnani. Jimmy Thomas watches on, that puck never comes to him. It'll go to the boards instead and back out of the zone. Bobcats kill off the penalty and they will come into the Eagles' end. Matt Rudin falling head over heels as time expires in the first period. And some pushing and shoving after the end of that whistle. Bobcat down on the ice.
Looks like Jake Houston's down in the middle of that.
That is Houston. He's getting up slowly here as these two teams took exception to the Bobcats crashing the net at the end of the period.
Both teams playing with a lot of swagger. They know they're good. Nick Gross mixing it up. We'll see if any penalties are handed out of this one, but nonetheless an exciting first period of hockey.
And there you have it, folks. At the end of one, it is 1-1 RMU and Ohio. And we're having some more pushing and shoving. These two teams cannot get off the ice without exchanging some pleasantries.
Yeah, Nick Gross has been in the middle of it. Not a guy who we usually see in the middle of these scrums, but number 13 mixing it up tonight.
Uncharacteristic for the Bobcats. They know they're a physical team that they've never seen this before.
Yeah, both teams need points bad. Huge round of applause from the Byrne Arena crowd showing their appreciation for Ohio. We're going to turn it around back up here to the next chain. Very exciting first period. It started right away, 53 seconds. Mike Plasic's able to finish a beautiful goal from a Gianni Evangelisti feed. Yeah,
flipping the script. We talked about Ohio being able to turn the tables on the Eagles, and they do it almost to a T, scoring at exactly the same mark the Eagles scored at yesterday. Mike Plasic's, his 8th of the season, gives Ohio a 1-0 lead. The Eagles would come back and tie the game, but Ohio certainly with a better effort in tonight's first period than last night's first period. They are only being outshot by 1 at the end of one here, 8-7 in favor of RMU. But certainly a renewed effort to get the puck deep, to keep their feet moving. I think that last night at points they were caught a little flat-footed. Tonight they look crisp, they look hungry.
Yeah, they're playing much more of a north and south game, Ohio is. A lot of crisp passes, a lot of skill plays. We saw Turneau and Harkins with a few skill plays on the same shift. A lot of good passes from defensemen. You know, Jake Houston was in there making some efforts as well. Ohio demonstrating their skill tonight. There was just another play that stood out to me particularly. Gianni Evangelisti came gliding into the zone. Really, like we've said all year, you give him open ice and space, well, bad things are going to happen for the other team, and good things are going to happen for Ohio. And how about Cody Black? Great pass there on that penalty kill. Unfortunately, that puck, a little bumpy, rumbly, couldn't be calmed down on the stick of Timmy Trudeau. Almost another goal right there. If Ohio keeps up this series of pressure, there's no way they're going to be stuck at one goal all night. Cole Semchak came into this game allowing 3 goals a game. Definitely looks beatable, looks competent, but beatable as we saw there in the first minute of the game. I think Ohio's in a very good place right now. The score is tied, but I would say Ohio won that period.
Yeah, Timmy Trudeau looked really good on the first line. I thought that he, Pulisic, and Gianni Evangelisti really set the tone early on for the Bobcats, obviously getting on the board in the first minute, but their style of play is exactly what Coach Hogan needed from his first line. We talked about yesterday when we were walking home, Ethan, how Ohio didn't look like they were able to roll 4 lines as well as the Eagles did last night. Tonight, a little bit less of a disparity. Both of these teams look like they're synergizing all of their forwards. And I think that Ohio being able to get back to trusting that third line, trusting that fourth line to be valuable on the ice for them here in the first period is letting those top guys play a little bit more loose, play a little bit, with less of a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, I think that starts in the defensive zone. Ohio, very simple, keeping it out of the zone. Not really trying to make any risks, really making a smart play, just chipping it out of the zone as soon as they get possession of that puck. But you talk about how Turneau is playing well up on the first side. How about Tom Evans getting a shot to play with Jake Fowler tonight? I thought they've complemented each other's play very well. Both guys look like they've played with each other before, definitely worked together in practice. Tom Evans, Jake Fowler having success back there in the blue line, wouldn't you say?
Yep, they have looked very well, and I think that second pairing with Jake Houston has looked well as well. Jake Houston, we talked about having a rebound game after some frustration last night in the third period. He has come out with speed, he has come out with determination and with purpose, and you can tell on the ice that it is translated to the rest of this defensive unit too. I think they're all looking very hungry. But the Bobcats right now are still knotted up at 1, not out of the woods yet. This is a tough RMU team that split the season series with Ohio last year, 2 games apiece, getting the first win last night and playing a tough, tight game again here tonight. Going to be a challenge for Ohio in the second period to come out and grab another lead here. You know, it would be great if they could get an early one like they did in the first, but what does Ohio need to do from the first 5 minutes, we'll say, to kind of take another commanding lead?
I think they need to possess the puck more. Last night in the second period, we saw Ohio possess the puck more, but Myron Morris did a good job of limiting Ohio's scoring opportunities. So I think when they do get into their own zone, Ohio that is, they're doing a great job of making the correct pass and getting the puck on net, looking forward into Cole Semchak's direction. But Ohio was able to dominate in the face-off dot at times last night. Not so much here tonight in the early going. So I think if Ohio controls the face-off dot, gets the puck going the other way, which they already have done a good job of, but they possess the puck more, I think goals might come in avalanches here for Ohio.
Yep, and they only had 5 shots in the second period yesterday. Hopefully they'll be able to get a few more on net tonight against Cole Semchak. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have more coverage here at the end of 1. Ohio 1, RMU 1. just a shade under 5 minutes until puck drops to start the second period. Tied up at 1 at the end of the first. Ethan getting on the board early on was Mike Palasic, just 43 seconds into the contest. Scott Koch answers about a third of the way, or 2/3 of the way through the first period to tie the game up for the Eagles. This is a tight contest, something we saw last night too, at the end of 1-0 in favor of RMU. What do the Bobcats need to do to separate themselves here in the first second?
I think they just need to take away the scoring opportunities from Robert Morris. Robert Morris doing a good job of getting scoring opportunities. Obviously, Scott Koch able to bury one. If anything, it's kind of nitpicky, but I'd say Ohio has to get in passing lanes. We've seen Robert Morris make a few skill plays and finish off some excellent passes here early in these games. So if anything, I think they got to get in the passing lanes. I think they're doing a good job of blocking shots. Jake Houston had a couple of nice block shots. Nick Gross is another name that comes to mind in the way of blocking shots. I thought he had a few good ones that period. But I think just stick to what they're doing. I think they're playing a very good hockey game. I don't think there's a lot to adjust. I think just keep to the grindstone. I think the way they're playing hockey, good goals will come. A couple of bad bounces there, especially on that Black and Tourneau rush there. Semchak was cleanly beat and they were unable to bury it. So I think if Ohio just sticks to their game plan, I think good things will happen. Keep putting the puck on the net, keep working the puck around. Ohio's looks much, much better in terms of passing the puck tonight. We've seen a lot of tape-to-tape passes from the defensemen. So I think keep working that puck up at the point, causing some confusion, really cycle that puck like we've seen earlier. Much improved forecheck. I think all those things are going to lead to a successful night for Ohio if they're able to get them done.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how these teams come out on the ice for the second. At the end of the first, there was a lot of pushing and shoving as the two teams tried to exit to their respective locker rooms. I haven't seen any penalties on the board yet. Waiting to see what will come of all those affairs at the end of one, but certainly these two teams have no love lost between them.
Yeah, a bit of animosity. We saw it get a little chippy at the end there last night, only natural. When you're struggling for Ohio to get a little frustrated, just natural. But Ohio usually able to keep their cool. We usually don't see Ohio mixed up in these type of situations. So, just stay out of the box. I think the referees may have a quicker whistle, if you will, as this game goes on. They really don't want to lose control of this game. They say hockey, in college hockey as a whole, they're not allowed to fight. So sometimes we see these officials, really call things quickly. We see them having a word with each of the coaches right now, probably just instructing the teams to maintain control of their teams and keep it clean.
And that's what happens when you've got two teams in the top 5 facing off against each other. RMU sitting at 5, Ohio at 4. These two teams jockeying for positioning in the CSCHL. RMU jumped them last night. Ohio will look to leapfrog them here tonight. Both teams are back out on the ice, and we will send it down to the ice for the start of the second period here. Ohio, as we mentioned, getting an early goal by Mike Palasic, his 8th of the season. Scott Koch scoring his 9th to tie the game up at 1. And this second period will be a battle of attrition. Which team can outlast each other through the second stanza?
Nice to see Mike Palasic get on the board there in the first period, too. He had been quiet for a few games in terms of scoring, but Palasic's able to find the back of the net tonight. Usually when he gets hot, he stays on fire. Mike Palasic, we've seen him score a bunch of goals in the first half of this season. Let's see if he can continue his play from the first.
Yeah, and that senior leadership for Ohio really highlighted here tonight with Mike Palasic, with Jake Fiala. Those two have been shouldering the load for Ohio early on. Drew Crandall, also a senior for the team, has been great on the fourth line. I really like what he and Zach Frank have been able to put together this year. They're not the flashy players. They're not the skilled hockey players like Gianni Evangelista, like Tyler Harkins, but they are integral to this team. You have to have them if you want to be successful. And Drew Crandall and Zach Frank embody what it means to be Bobcat hockey players.
Yeah, Zach Frank plays a very mature, smart style of hockey, only as a freshman from South Shore of the USPHL. Very defensive hockey player, very skilled in the face-off circle, too. Usually we see Zach Frank win anywhere from 60 to 65% of his face-offs. Robert Morris controls here early.
And we are underway in the second period. Sam Turner walking through the neutral zone with the puck, depositing into the Bobcats' end. This second period is going to be a physical one for both sides here as they're grinding down low. Matt Rudin tangled up with Nate Chastain and Gavin Burback, and Burback out with the puck. Back up to the top of the zone for Connor McGovern. Played on to Burback once more. And he will face pressure from Evangelesi. Have to walk back to the neutral zone for a regroup.
Shane, it appears there was a 5-minute major assessed to Nick Gross at the end of that period. Ohio's going to be down a skater for 5 minutes. Looks like for a slash.
So that is what we thought would happen, Ethan. We were looking for a penalty or two from perhaps both sides to start the second, but it looks as though Nick Gross will be the only one in the box. 5 minutes, certainly a daunting task for the Bobcats to kill off this penalty, and they're getting to it right now as Cody Black finds some separation, shoots that puck wide of Semchak, and a nice feed there by the Bobcats defenseman over to Cody Black. Almost a pristine opportunity for the Bobcats on the shorthanded opportunity.
Black with a couple of nice opportunities for Ohio down to man of night, Shane.
Jimmy Thomas watches that puck come to his heels. The Bobcats get it out of the zone, played up by a high stick. And Semchak will take it for a whistle here. Minute and a half into the period. The Bobcats looking good early on the penalty kill. 5-minute penalty to Nick Gross to start action here in the second. He won't be tossed from the game, though. He's sitting on the bench, so the Bobcats will have him back out here at the conclusion of this power play for the Eagles. Shot off the faceoff by Cody Black. Scoops that one high, and it comes around the boards for Ryan Martin. Martin into the end, pokes it past Jake Houston. Houston recovers and picks up the puck, sends it to the middle of the ice. Dylan Holt falling as he takes the shot, blocked by the Bobcats before Brett Lepic steals it at the top of the zone and keeps it in for the Eagles.
Cody Black's had a really strong game tonight. Been out there on the penalty kill quite a bit as Fiala battles for this puck along the boards there with Ryan Martin.
Fiala and Houston getting the puck to the top of the zone. And another attempt. Dylan Holt keeps it in once more. Brett Lepic down low, battling with number 11. And Alex Anderson pressuring Cody Black, number 18, finally able to get the puck out. The Bobcats will head to the bench for a change here.
Holt's going to play this puck. He had three of them, Shane. 3 nice keeps on that last shift for Robert Morris's power play.
Alex Anderson with speed through the neutral zone, directing one to Jimmy Thomas's crease. Saved by the Bobcat goaltender. Played up to Sam Turner. We'll get a whistle here. Coach Hogan jawing at the refs from the bench. Not sure why the puck was blown dead there, Ethan, you know?
No, I'm not sure. Coach Hogan very, very upset, though. Clearly wanted some sort of call. The linesman looks like Jake Music having a conversation there with Chico. Not sure what's going on right now.
And they'll try to sort through whatever malady came out on the ice there. Coach Hogan arguing that they had 6 guys on the ice, could potentially be a too many men penalty.
Looks like
and Reed Kelly skating toward the box. It does appear as though the Bobcats will buy themselves a call here. Too many men on the ice for the Eagles.
Big break for Ohio. Costly mistake here. Robert Morris is Ohio will have a brief 18-second power play at the end of the Nick Gross penalty. Robert Morris has been having 6 people on the ice or 5 people on the ice. That's 4-on-4 frequently this week. It hasn't been called much, but it did right there.
The Bobcats will win the faceoff back. Gavin Burback jumps the draw. We'll get another whistle here as Tyler Harkin's stick is swatted out of his hands and a slashing penalty to Burback. And just like that, the Bobcats are going to be the beneficiaries of another penalty.
You talk about a complete 180 from last night's game. Robert Morris with 2 costly penalties there in a matter of seconds. Robert Morris was very disciplined last night. We barely saw them in the box at all, and now they just went from a 5-minute power play to an Ohio advantage. What a turn of events, Shane.
And Ohio looking to capitalize on this 4-on-3 opportunity. Just like that, the Bobcats are good to go here as that puck is buried under an Eagle defender. Is that going to be a delayed game penalty too, Ethan?
It looks like Holt just decided to lay on that puck, the Grant Hazel's stick.
Things falling apart here for the Eagles as they're clamoring to try to regain some stature here on the ice. Gianni Evangelesi lines up against Ryan Martin for the face-off in the Eagles zone. One back by RMU, played on by Dylan Holt up to the top of the blue line for Jake Houston. And he will walk toward the middle of the ice with it. Over to Evangelesti, back to Houston. In the center of the slot is Houston, toward the circle, over to Hazel. Fakes one way, sends it back to Houston. The two cannot connect. And Jake Houston is pressured by Ryan Martin. Backhands one over to Gianni Evangelesti. One-time attempt by Grant Hazel, blocked by the Eagles. Tyler Harkins with the puck behind the crease of Semchak. Badgered by number 20, Joe Borowski. Played on by Evangelesti, over to Tyler Harkins. And off the boards, onto the stick of Grant Hazel. In the circle was Evangelesti once more. Hazel wound up and decided to play the puck instead. Houston with it. Looking for Hazel. Shot by Grant Hazel on the one-timer. Another save by Semchak. Puck comes to the corner and Hazel will go in to assist Tyler Harkins. Battling with Ryan Martin are the two Bobcats. And Hazel able to get that puck loose. Out to the top of the zone over to Jake Houston. Evangelesti shot. Saved by Semchak again. Picking up the puck is number 7 for the Bobcats, Gianni Evangelesti, and toying with an RMU Eagle defender over to Houston. And a skill play by number 11 cannot feed Evangelesti, and the puck will come out of the zone.
There's a few good power play opportunities right there from Ohio. Gianni Evangelesti breaking back the other way now with speed.
Into the zone, and behind the net goes Evangelesti. Matt Rudin picking up the bare puck and sending it over to Houston. Houston's been on the ice for a while here. Rudin, and a nice move! Almost completely faked Semchak. Houston with space, shot! Blockered away by Cole again. And the Bobcats won't be able to score on the power play as time expires on the man advantage. 6 seconds and counting for RMU. And their penalty will expire too, as 5 minutes have gone off the clock here. The Bobcats have the puck at the top of the zone. Grant Hazel shot! Blocked away by Borowski into the net, and he is juiced about that one.
Gavin Burback and Cole Semchak both having a moment there as Cole Semchak, I'm sure, appreciates not having to face that wicked Grant Hazel snapshot. A couple of nice opportunities for Ohio there on the power play, but they will go for naught. Ohio maybe want to look towards the net a little bit more there. Had some good passes, but Robert Morris, a couple of huge blocks from Ryan Martin, able to prevent those pucks from finding the way to the net, Shane.
And Matt Rudin almost completed a very skilled play there, turning around at the bottom of the zone and taking it to the forehand. Could not sneak it past Semchak. Rudin still on the ice for Ohio as Gabe Lampron comes in low to pick up the puck. Number 23 out with it now. Loses it in transition. Sending it up high to Nick Gross. Over to Fiala. Shot by Jake. And a save by Semchak. Whacking at it was Rudin. But number 1 falls on it for the whistle.
Cole Semchak, very aggressive, kind of tentatively follows that puck. Let's see if Ohio takes advantage of that and gets him out of position. There was another opportunity there on that last power play where Grant Hazel was fed the puck over on the other end of the ice, and Semchak kind of anticipated it very early, didn't have to pay for it, but Semchak aggressively, much more so than Christopher Mallon.
Bobcats' third line is out here now. Cody Black with the puck on his stick off the faceoff win. Over to Garrett Elmore. Turning and sending it back to Black. And up to the zone for Fiala. And a redirection by Tyler Harkins on the Fiala shot. Almost caught Semchak sleeping. Fiala races back to pick up that puck off Mike Cacciato. Turned over to Reed Kelly before Nick Gross makes a play with the stick to go the other way with it. That is Harkins. Stymied at the blue line by Mike Rizzo. Cody Black behind the net, leaves it for Elmore. Played on by Martin, and he will direct it out of the zone. Reed Kelly off the settle by Nick Gross. Kelly still has the puck at his stick, down low for Martin now. Pressured by Hazel, and Ryan Martin will get the puck up top once more. That was Koch, and he could not cleanly keep the puck. Tyler Harkins out with it. Shot blocked by Rizzo. And up the other way go the Eagles. Ryan Martin stopping and starting through the zone. Leaves it for Anderson. Nice play by Bayard.
A great poke check there by Bayard. Very alert to know where he is on the ice to prevent that puck from finding its way to the middle of the ice.
Drew Crandall applying the pressure on Anderson. Up to Borowski. Shot by Borowski wide of Jimmy Thomas. Bounces off the boards to the stick of Brett Lepic. And Lepic will pick up the puck. Send it to the slot. Save by Jimmy Thomas as that puck bounced away from him. Sean Baird with the physical play on Brett Lepic. Number 18 down to his feet. As Ryan Martin collects the puck.
Sean Baird took a cross check to the back of the head there, went undetected. Refs really letting him play in this game, getting physical, dicey at times, Shane.
Alex Anderson tumbles and tries to slash Mike Blasic's on the way through. Bobcats with the play in the Eagles' end. Semchak down on the ice, and we'll get a whistle. 12 and a half minutes remaining in the second period. Shots 12-10 in favor of Ohio. But just as we had predicted, this has become a very physical, chippy game.
Yeah, Ohio's starting to take advantage of their puck possession, get some shots off. This is probably the best we've seen Ohio play all weekend here, the first 7 minutes and 35 seconds of this period. Still unable to cash in on the scoreboard, but Ohio getting to some good areas of the ice.
Brian Lubin wins the faceoff. Back to Gross. Shot on the one-time by Jake Houston. Over the head of Semchak. Rudin falling to the ice as Brian Lubin looks on. Lubin with the puck now. Oh, he cannot connect with Nick Gross. That puck skitters out of the zone and comes to the Bobcats' end.
Almost a series of incredible passes there. Jake Houston with the first one.
Ohio with the puck at the hash. Up to Houston and out of the zone come the Bobcats. With speed is Jake Houston. Play on the puck was Connor McGovern. Knocking it off Houston's stick. Number 11 for the Bobcats down low. And filling in for him is Tyler Harkins. He will have to make a play here as he is beat wide by Malsby. Nick Gross off the backboard. Over to Houston and up to Matt Rudin. Nick Rizzo with the puck at his stick. Played on to his partner Harrison Cole. Back to Rizzo. And he will take a breather.
A very good period. Shane has constantly been touching the puck, always getting in front of pucks.
Burback with the puck through the zone. And a shot after the whistle. The Bobcats will take exception to that. The refs having a word with Birdback, telling him, "You can't do that, sir."
Yeah, it's been a tense weekend. Gavin Burback's been right in the middle of it. I'm not sure what he's thinking, letting that shot go a few seconds after that whistle. We'll see if he gets a delay a game or just a warning. It appears it's going to be a warning for now, but things are getting shippy out there. These teams are both very evenly contested, but very much aware of how important this game is in the CSCHL standings. We have the face-off coming outside of the zone now.
Nick Gnani lines up for the Eagles. Gianni Evangelista counters for Ohio. One on by Gnani. And the Eagles dump the puck behind Jimmy Thomas. Mike Palasic at the boards. Gianni Evangelista picks up the garbage. Over to the Eagles' end. Nick Rizzo to Scordelis. Back to Rizzo. And out of the zone comes number 16. Walks it into the Bobcats' territory. Picked off by Evangelista in the slot. And played on by Scordelis. That puck out of play. We'll get a whistle here. 10:50 remaining in the second period. Almost at the halfway point of this hockey game.
And we are at the halfway point and this period taking on a much different look than the first. The first we saw a very wide open game. This period taking the form of some of last night's play. Much more defensive period here, Shane.
Cody Black to the boards, picked up by Koch off the faceoff. And on for Holt to the red line, stopped by the referee. RMU will pick up the puck and dump it in. That is Borowski. Out of play for another whistle.
A lot of stoppages here. The shifts being kept short rather as Jake Music skates over to the bench looking for another puck. He will get one, fortunately. Good thing we have multiple pucks here at Bird Arena, Shane.
And if they need some more, we always got the puck toss at the end of two. There's a whole bucket down by the penalty box, Ethan. We got to toss a couple of those last night.
Yeah, we did. Unfortunately, we were not very close. Maybe tonight if we get an opportunity.
Shot there by Reed Kelly. Saved by Jimmy Thomas. Reed Kelly collects the rebound and moves it over to Holt. Shot by Holt. Glove down by Jimmy Thomas for the whistle.
Ohio got caught out of position there. Great pass there by Borowski to find Holt, and Holt able to put a shot on goal, but Jimmy Thomas been big when he's been asked to step up tonight, Shane. 11 of 12 stopping shots.
The Bobcats' fourth line out here with Tyler Harkins filling in on the right wing. Defensively, the Cats will go with Jake Houston and Nick Gross. Gross with the puck off the faceoff up to Drew Crandall, and out of the zone comes Zach Frank. He will backhand run in past Semchak. Played on by Crandall in the corner.
There you go, Drew!
And battling with Ryan Martin is Drew Crandall. Holt recovers, picks up the puck, takes it the other way.
All right!
Another scrum on the opposite side now as Holt falls on the puck once more. Crandall taking exception to that, not very happy with Dylan Holt's reluctance to get up.
Holt is getting a lot of ice time in this period here. Crandall and Holt going back and forth. It seems like that's happened a few times this period where right in that area of the ice, Robert Morris falls on it and just tries to get a face-off, slow the play down. Ohio, a very quick team. Can't blame Robert Morris for wanting to slow him down.
Frank out here for the face-off, loses it to Ryan Martin. And the Eagles will chase as Drew Crandall picks it up in the corner. Martin collects. Zach Frank battles. Drew Crandall down low to help out. And Frank still jockeying for position there in the corner, taking down Ryan Martin. Borowski with a hit on Drew Crandall. We're going to get a whistle here. Not sure if it is Frank and Martin who are going to be whistled, or if it's going to be Borowski.
Zach Frank finds himself in a very odd position there. Right over the back of number 3 there, is able to just give him a nice pat on the head. Everything remaining similar for now. Looks like we're going to have some penalties upcoming here, Shane.
Borowski arguing his case to the referee. It looks as though he will be the only one heading to the box. A high hit on Drew Crandall over in the corner. We'll get a 2-minute penalty on the board for Borowski. So Ohio will head to the power play for the 3rd time tonight. Unsuccessful on its first 2 opportunities.
Let's see if Ohio changes their approach on that last power play. They're able to work the puck around, possess the puck for almost the entire power play, but not a lot of scoring opportunities. Let's see if that changes.
Off the draw, RMU is able to get it deep into the Bobcats' end. Houston collects and breaks out with it. Through the zone is Jake Houston. Over the blue line before the puck is blown dead. We will have an offsides play here.
Yeah, Evangelesti offsides there. Ohio, the referees do call it. Ohio's going to have to take this face-off outside of their zone. See, Evangelesti looks like he's going to take it. Good face-off man for Ohio. Obviously, him back on the power play is going to be something that Coach Hogan continues to do. Matt Rudin finds himself back out on the power play as well.
Matt Rudin with points in his last 3 hockey games, including a 4-point effort in Saturday's win versus Lindenwood. Gianni Evangelesti with 4 power play goals leads all Bobcat scorers. And he is somebody that gets fed a lot from that right circle. Puck coming low, and Cole Semchak making a save there for the whistle.
Semchak gave up a rebound there that Matt Rudin just took the Barry Bonds-like baseball swing at, unable to put it in the back of the net, but a good idea by Rudin nonetheless when the puck pops up like that to try and put it in the back of the net.
The Bobcats look on here as the faceoff comes to the right of Semchak. Forwards will stay on for Ohio as they win it back to Grant Hazel. Touch pass over to Hazel again. To the corner for Harkins. And helping out is Matt Rudin. Harkins gets loose. Over to Evangelesti with space. Up top to Houston. Back to Evangelesti. One-time opportunity shot by Evangelesti and a better save by Semchak. That one rattled around in the crease there before Semchak finally fell on it.
Yeah, Semchak didn't stop that one cleanly. It bounced up over his glove. I think it might have hit Matt Rudin in front, but back down, and Semchak able to control it. Tough break there for Ohio. They're going to get a line change on. Lubin is going to be the center that takes his face off. Nick Gross and Jake Vila out there as well.
With 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the power play, the Bobcats will switch Icemen on the ice here. Brian Lubin, who scored his 6th of the season last night, out here to take that face off. The puck goes into the rafters for a whistle. We'll have to try that one again.
Not the worst thing in the world if you're Ohio to just have another face-off in your zone.
Holt out of position there, trying to steal the puck off. Brian Lubin rests quick to catch him. Ohio collects it at the hash. That is Mike Palasic. And he will fake once and go over to the other side for Fiala. Shot by Jake Fiala. And a loose puck. And we'll get a whistle. That puck was still loose, but the refs blew it dead quickly.
Yeah, just a terrible call that might have cost Ohio a goal there. Cole Semchak in no way had control of that puck. Mike Palasic was there right on the doorsteps, but the refs blew it dead. Several seconds early, the puck was loose. Tough break for Ohio there. Palasic had a wide open net on that rebound.
The Eagles changing up defensemen. Out now is Scordelis and Nick Rizzo. The Bobcats with a quick shot out the faceoff. Timmy Turneau denied by Cole Semchak. Puck out of the zone, and Mike Palasic will circle and walk back in. Pressured there by Rizzo. Brian Lubin chasing on over the head of all the Bobcats, and Jimmy Thomas will settle it on his side of the ice. Up is Jake Fiala with speed through the neutral zone. To the side for Brian Lubin. A shot there by Mike Palasic, and he trickles it through. His 9th of the season and 2nd of the game. And Mike Palasic, the senior assistant captain, gives his team a 2-1 lead on the power play. What a goal for number 28, and what a lead for Ohio.
In basketball, they say the ball doesn't lie. Well, in hockey, the puck don't lie. Mike Palasic there getting robbed of an opportunity for a scoring chance there on that early whistle, able to redeem himself and bury that one. His 2nd of the night. Get your hats ready, Bobcat fans. He's one away.
We saw teddy bears on the ice in the first period. We could potentially be seeing hats on the ice in the 2nd or 3rd. Mike Palasic, 1 goal away from the Bobcats' 2nd hat trick of the year, the first coming from Tyler Harkins earlier in the season. And number 28 gives his team the lead here. 7.5 minutes remaining in the 2nd period. Ohio looking to stay ahead as they dump the puck out of the zone back toward Robert Morris's end. Garrett Elmore pressuring Connor McGovern. And shaking number 27 off the puck. Cody Black in and out for Gabe Lampron. He will hack once, hack twice at it before it falls to Elmore's feet. Down low once more is Gabe Lampron to the net. Shot wide to the corner. And Lampron swats it back low once more. Elmore turns around with it. Up to Hazel. One time by Bayard. Wide of Semchak.
Semchak is way out of the net there, Shane. I'm not sure why. He's been out of position a few times today.
Bayard keeps it in for Ohio. Zach Frank makes an attempt at the puck, and Gabe Lampron able to pick up the garbage. Scott Coach loses it to Drew Crandall. One-timer by Drew Crandall. Off of the blocker area of Cole Semchak. And Crandall hustling once more, getting to the puck first.
Ohio doing a great job of cycling this puck around. Really great extended forecheck after that power play to keep the pressure on. Try and get 2 here before this period's over.
Frank working off Cacciato to the net and played away by Connor McGovern. RMU trying here as they look very tired. The Bobcats able to keep that puck in the zone for an extended period of time. Finally back out to the neutral zone before Ohio walks back in with it. Tyler Harkins back to Drew Crandall. Another shot by 15. Trickles through the slot wide of Semchak. Zach Frank to the corner to pick up the rebound there for the Bobcats.
Hazel off for Tom Evans. Hazel had a good, nice shift there. A couple of nice scoring opportunities, nice passes. Number 3 playing a textbook hockey game.
5.5 minutes remaining in the period. Shots 18-13 in favor of Ohio. Been able to get this forecheck going here as Jake Fiala pitches low to keep the puck in play for the Bobcats. Finally, Nate Chastain is able to collect it and move ahead with it. Could not connect with Koch and won't get an icing play as Tom Evans goes back on the puck.
So often we talk about Ohio wearing teams down, and last night they were unable to do that, really not take a significant advantage in any area of the game for an extended period of time. That is finally happening tonight. Ohio is wearing Robert Morris down. Like you said, Shane, they were very tired on that last shift. Lucky to get a change, lucky to get out with no damage done. We'll see if Ohio can keep it up here. Evangelista able to control this face-off cleanly.
Timmy Tuneau down low again. Played on for the Bobcats is Mike Palasic. And he sandwiches a man between the boards, but the Eagles shoot it And a save by Jimmy Thomas. Chastain almost collected another goal here. Jimmy Thomas able to answer that one with his blocker. Puck out of play into the Eagles bench for another whistle.
Chastain has been active all week, and Jimmy Thomas able to just stop that one with the top of his stick. Good save by big-time Jimmy Tim.
Evangelesi lines up in his own zone for the faceoff. Ryan Martin counters for the Eagles. One on by Evangelesi and played out of the zone. Borowski with pressure from Gianni. Leaves it for Dylan Holt. Played on by Jake Houston. Receiving the puck at the line. Plasix on the other side with the puck. Back to Houston down low. Up top again for Nick Gross. Cannot collect it. Works it behind Semchak and Mike Plasix and Timmy Turneau down there for the Bobcats. Out from Burback over to Anderson in the zone. Comes number 25. Saved there by Jimmy Thomas. Net dislodged, and Thomas takes exception to Holt. He gives a shove. Nick Gross falls on top of him. Alex Anderson trying to get out of the melee. As Jimmy Thomas gives another shove to Gavin Burback, and that one might cost him.
Yeah, Jimmy Thomas, we usually don't see him get upset, but very upset with something Holt did there. Holt's been an agitator all game, and him going after Burback. And Robert Morris being very aggressive, crashing the net. Jimmy Thomas protecting his crease. Very physical, Thomas to say. Feisty. Fight is a word I would use to describe him.
Nick Gross skating to the penalty box. He will find himself in the sin bin once more. He had a 5-minute major earlier on in the game. Not sure what exactly will come of all this yet.
Could be that he's serving a penalty for Jimmy Thomas, Shane. I think that is a likely scenario.
Well, he was the one who took out Holt after the play. So he might be getting one of his own. I'm not sure if there'll be a couple penalties administered to the Bobcats or if it'll just be Gross. But Jimmy Thomas with that late shove, certainly not a good look for Ohio, making a bad situation even worse.
Yeah, got to remain disciplined. They're finally able to take a lead in this hockey game, take control of it. Don't want to let Robert Morris back in the game. They might have done just that with that last dust up there in front of Jimmy Thomas's crease.
Dylan Holt also in the box for the Eagles. It could be matching penalties here for both sides. Jake Fiala sorting through the action here with linesman Scott McClement. Coming over to have a word is Nick Gnani, the assistant captain for the Eagles. We still haven't received confirmation from the referees about what all transpired down low and who will get calls against them.
Ohio up 2-1 in this game. Shots 19-13. Ohio able to take control of the shot clock for the first time this weekend in this period. A couple of guys having a nice period, Shane. We'll see if Ohio has to go to the penalty kill here. If they do, Cody Black is having a very nice night on the penalty kill for Ohio.
Jimmy Thomas on the board for 2 minutes here. Looks as though that'll be the only call on the board. So a 5-on-4 for the Eagles here with 4 minutes and change remaining in the second period. Ohio's Gianni Evangelesi and Matt Rudin out here up top for the Bobcats. Grant Hazel and Sean Bayer down low.
Thomas going off, or he's not going off, but the penalty before roughing there. Not something we see, a roughing penalty called on the goaltender. Very rare occurrence.
And RMU will look to make the Bobcats pay for that inconsistency here as Connor McGovern collects the puck at his own blue line. Over to Chastain, cross ice for Burback. And into the zone comes number 8, Gavin Burback, centering one for Cody Malsby. And it trickles off the stick of Cody Malsby. Burback recovers down low. Over to Sam Turner up top. Saved by Jimmy Thomas as Turner sends one to the net. And with 3 minutes and 33 seconds remaining, we'll get another whistle.
Sam Turner's not been as active as you would have thought he would be this weekend, near the statistical lead in almost every offensive category for the Golden Eagles, but a good scoring opportunity right there for number 17.
Cody Black out here to take the face-off for Ohio. He has been a great third-line penalty-killing center for Ohio this year, not getting the number of goals that he would probably like, but he's making up for it in other areas of the game as he pressures the Eagles' Lucas Stover. Turned over at the top of the zone to Timmy Turneau. The Bobcats with pressure in the Eagles' end once more. Timmy Turneau looking like a man-child out here driving to the net. That crease was driven by Timmy Turneau. Net looked like it might have come out the moorings. They're going to allow play to continue here as Ryan Martin skates through a couple Bobcats. Shot there by number 3. Kicked away by Jimmy Thomas. Back up for Lucas Stover. And Stover over to Rizzo. Back to Stover. Played away to Ryan Martin. Shot there, blocked by Jake Fiella, the captain, getting in front of Ryan Martin's wrister.
Great play by Fiella there.
He's calling for the goaltender to come off the ice. What's going on here? We're going to have another penalty for the Bobcats. And after a save by Jimmy Thomas, another whistle. And Ohio going to be down 2 men here as they will see another man come through the box, waiting to see who that will be. It looks as though it'll be Cody Black. It was Jimmy Thomas, excuse me. A slash by Jimmy Thomas again. His second penalty in as many minutes.
Coach Hogan not pleased as Jake Houston mixing it up in front of the net there as well. I thought Jake might have gone off, but nonetheless they assessed it to Thomas. Referees trying to keep Thomas in line. Very uncharacteristic behavior from number 30.
Well, Jimmy Thomas is a feisty individual. We've seen that in practice. He's not afraid to mix it up, but he has always kept a cool head in the games, something that is very uncharacteristic for Jimmy Thomas. The Bobcats will have to weather the storm here. Zach Frank going to be the one serving the penalty for Ohio. And the Eagles are in business here as Harrison Cole directs one to Thomas's crease. Saved by number 30. To the corner goes the puck. Back up to Harrison Cole. One-time attempt by Sam Turner. Saved by Jimmy Thomas. Collecting the puck down low is Malsby. He has it at his stick end. Jake Fiella disrupts it. Off the boards to Harrison Cole. And a Bobcat is down in the corner. Who
Jake Houston.
That is Jake Houston. Feeling the effects of a big hit by Cody Malsby. It looks as though number 9 will be headed to the sin bin. And Jake Houston slow to get up down low. That is not something you want to see for Ohio.
I think Malsby might have got Houston from behind there. We'll see what the official call is, but Houston took an ugly tumble to the ice. He's up, he's all right. A little shaken up, but nothing that's going to bother number 11. He's a tough guy.
This is the second time we've seen this tonight where one team takes a penalty and then the other team follows suit right back with another one. And just like that, RMU will lose their man advantage. Both teams will play four-side for the next minute and 32 seconds here. 2 and change left in the second period. So ice will open up for both sides here at the end of 2 as Scordelis comes out of the zone with the puck up to Cacciato. Cacciato walks toward the center of the ice, leaves it for Rizzo. Shot by Rizzo, saved by Thomas. Cannot collect it. And Ohio back out to the neutral zone.
Great play by Scordelis to break up that opportunity. Lubin was streaking to the net on the other side.
Cacciato with a shot. Thomas cannot keep the rebound, but Ohio picks it up and moves out of the zone with it. Nick Gross finds Brian Lubin, and Lubin with a shot. Save by Semchek. That one might have gone wide. Whacked by Tyler Harkins. The puck stays in the Eagles' end. Scordelis over with space to pick up the puck, and he will walk around Tyler Harkins into the Bobcat zone. Number 26 down low with it, leaving it for Scott Koch in the corner. Houston pressuring him. And another battle down low as Koch loses the puck to Houston. Picked up by Hazel and lost to Ryan Martin.
Koch, a thorn in the side of Ohio all weekend, has a goal already tonight.
Martin turning with it. Badgered by Grant Hazel. The two tie up with each other as Hazel tries to get his stick loose. And a bad play is Hazel is caught flat-footed, and Jimmy Thomas recovers for the save. Another desperate attempt by number 30 getting in front of that shot. He's telling Houston to get up. 35 seconds remaining. Puck blown dead on the other side. Harkins pushing and shoving in the crease. We'll get another scrum as these two teams have had a hell of a time trying to sort through their differences.
Yeah, two teams that clearly do not like each other. Jake Houston had a bad turnover earlier in that shift down at the other end, but was able to make some outstanding defensive plays. Huge block in front of Thomas. I think if Houston didn't get in front of that last shot, might have been going to the net. Good recovery by number 11, Shane.
And Jimmy Thomas with a highlight reel save down low Another shot came through immediately after, and he was able to recover for that one as well, keeping his team in the game and giving them the lead, making 19 of 20 saves to this point. And Ohio will take this face-off on the right side of the ice. Cody Black coming back to the bench for Ohio. Evangelisti, Rudin, Faella, and Bayard are out here for the Bobcats. A premature draw, one on by Gianni Evangelisti. He has the puck off the feed from Bayard. Tap pass back to Evangelisti. Cross ice to Bayard. Getting in the way of that was Nate Chastain. Pokes it out of the zone to the red line.
Chastain having himself a very good weekend, both offensively and defensively.
Rudin walking back in, leaves it for Evangelisti. Disrupted by Gnani. Another shot toward the net by Harkins. And a save by Semchak. 6 seconds left in the period. And with that, time will expire for both teams. Through 40 minutes, it is Ohio 2, RMU 1. Thanks to a pair of goals by Bobcats senior assistant captain Mike Palasics.
Yeah, a lot of the same in the second period from last night's game. Before that Palasics goal, a much more defensive game, much more conservative game than we saw in the first period. But Mike Palasics able to bury that in his second of the evening. Palasics is definitely hot. So are a lot of players for RMU. I mean, not so much on the score sheet as much as they're accustomed to. But you look at guys like Nate Chastain, Scott Koch. Holt had a series of nice defensive plays that period. Might have been the best defensive player on the ice, maybe the best player on the ice. Period was Holt there for RMU at times.
Yeah, he looked very good out there, keeping this lead to just 1 for Ohio. It could have been 3 or 4 to 1 if they didn't get a good defensive effort from guys like Dylan Holt, from guys like Nick Rizzo. Cole Semchak has looked good. Jimmy Thomas, I would argue, has looked even better, keeping this lead for Ohio intact. He made a couple of big saves down low with about 30 seconds remaining in the period, robbing Alex Anderson of a would-be goal in the slot. Jimmy Thomas stepping up after a little bit of a shaky night last night, gave up 4 goals, majority of those coming in the third period. Ohio was down just 1 to RMU after 2 last night. Now RMU's down 1 to Ohio after 2 tonight. This third period is going to be a real test for both sides. It's been a chippy hockey game. I think the team that stays composed, that stays disciplined, is going to come out with the lead.
Yeah, this game has turned into more of a defensive struggle as it's progressed here, as we now just finished period number 2. I would not be surprised at all, Shane, if the next goal is the one that wins it. So the team's not a lot of open ice is out there as this game's been going on, but a lot of penalties as well, too. You look at something to clean up for both sides, keys to the next period. Both teams have to stay out of the box. Both teams very disciplined last night, so it's kind of odd. Last night's hockey game, very different than what we're seeing here tonight. Both teams very disciplined last night, just a few penalties, probably under 10 or 15 minutes, but tonight, penalties galore.
And I think Coach Hogan will talk to the Bobcats in the locker room about that. I think that he wants them to play physical, he wants them to play aggressive, he wants them to play smart. Ohio has gotten away from that a little bit in this game. I think that they look poised at times, but they also look a little rattled too. So keeping their heads cool, keeping their composure is going to be a theme as we move into the third period. Trying to hold this lead is something that Ohio has done pretty well this year. They don't surrender a lot of leads after 2, but RMU was able to score 3 last night. We saw them score 4 in a game in the third period against Ohio last year too. So all it takes is 1 and the floodgates could open. We'll see what the Bobcats do to counter it.
Yeah, Robert Morris is a good third period team, like you alluded to. We only have to go back to last night to find an example of that. But if you're Ohio, you just got to keep playing your game. I think they're doing a very good job. They're finally getting ahead on the shot clock, finally possessing the puck. Not the quantity of shots we're used to seeing, as Ohio only has 21. Usually we're used to seeing them in the 30 or 40 range. Still a possibility, I suppose, but I think they're going to have to execute and finish on these opportunities. Mike Palasics has taken advantage of his opportunities when he's been able to find the puck on his stick tonight in front of Cole Semchak. I look for him to get a lot of ice time in this period too, and I look for a lot of the other big point getters for Ohio that we're used to seeing. I look for Evangelisti to have a lot of ice time, Markins to have a lot of ice time, Matt Rudin to have a lot of ice time just coming up in the third.
Yeah, like we mentioned, Mike Palasics with 2 goals. His next would be a hat trick for the senior assistant captain. We saw some teddy bears on the ice earlier. It would be nice to see some hats on the ice for Ohio and these fans, and what would be a big victory to move ahead of our Robert Morris in the CSCHL. But when we come back from a quick commercial break, we will break down the rest of the action in the second period and get you set for the final 20 minutes here on the Bobcats Hockey Intermission Report. And we are live from Bird Arena. Ethan, 2-1 advantage for the Bobcats after 2. Mike Palasic with both goals for Ohio. Scott coached the score for the RMU Eagles. This has been a very tight hockey game, much like we saw last night. Shots 21-20 in favor of Ohio. Different from yesterday when RMU was up 24-13 in that category after 2. Ohio working that forecheck better tonight, moving the puck with more efficiency, and it's paying off for them as they see themselves with a lead after 2.
Yeah, we'll see if either team can pull away here in this third period. That's what we saw last night. But like you said, a very evenly contested hockey game. You know, Robert Morris is down a goal right now, but I don't think the message in that locker room is going to be to change any strategy drastically. I think they're playing very well. I think they're right in this hockey game. They're making Ohio draw some penalties. They had a couple of power play opportunities, but at the same time, when they got on those power play opportunities, they were drawing penalties themselves to even it back up and even put Ohio back on that power play. In a very odd sequence in which we saw a 5-minute major from Nick Gross to start that period turned into a power play for Ohio. 2 penalties taken in a matter of seconds for Robert Morris. Cannot have that happen.
Yeah, and the Bobcats burned the Eagles on that power play opportunity. Mike Palasic with his second, finally getting Ohio off the schneid on the man advantage. They've had some trouble in recent weeks generating offense on the power play. Finally on the stat sheet there, 1 for 4, I believe, through 2 periods. There was a lot of matching penalties for each side, so we'll see how that develops here in the third. Maybe they can come out with some more composure, or it might get out of hand early on. It's really up in the air, but I think at this point, Ohio will take where it's at after 2 periods. They were down 1 yesterday, not out of the game, but RMU came out in the third period and really smothered the Bobcats, putting up 3 en route to a 4-1 victory. Ohio now on the other side of that page with the lead after 2. What do they need to do to keep this lead and limit Robert Morris's chances here in the third period?
I think they got to play a more disciplined game. We saw Jimmy Thomas take a rare penalty in that period for roughing Coach Hogan. You can hear him vocally upset about that on the bench. So look for plays like that, not to single out Jimmy. That's just an example. But Ohio has to be more disciplined. They have to stay out of the box. Robert Morris has a very effective power play. We saw them score a lot on that earlier this season. But it's been a good hockey game, very tightly contested, very close game. We will see what happens. I think Ohio's doing a good job at forcing the scoring opportunities to the outside of the ice. I think, if anything, Ohio needs to be more careful with the puck. We've seen them have a couple of bad turnovers. But other than that, I mean, Ohio's sticking to their game. They're playing their game. And I like where they're at right now. Definitely not going to – I think it's going to take more than a one-goal lead to finish this one. So next goal's a big one, Shane.
Yeah, it certainly will be. RMU getting on the bird early on in the third period yesterday. Ohio trying to keep them at bay tonight. A 3-goal effort by the Eagles, certainly not off of Coach Hogan's mind. I think he's keeping that in mind in the back of his head, but he's got some faith in this Bobcats team. He's got some faith in Jimmy Thomas, and that's really all it takes, is a coach that trusts his players, that trusts the process. And Ohio right now with a 1-goal opportunity, or a 1-goal lead, with the opportunity to capture its 15th win of the year. Coach Hogan certainly got to like where his team is. But we are going to send it down to the ice as both teams come out for the start of the third period. The Bobcats with about 58 seconds separating them from taking the face-off at the red line. A 2-1 advantage, as we said. For those of you just joining, Mike Palasic scoring both goals for Ohio tonight. His first just 43 seconds into the contest, and that sent all the Bears flying. His second on the power play gave Ohio a 2-1 lead. And potentially, if he gets his third, we're going to see some hats.
Yeah, he's going to be out there to start this period. Shane, him, Evangelisti, and Tourneau have played extremely well tonight. This is the first time we've seen this combination. And it's working out for Coach Hogan. Let's see if he rolls with it here in the coming weeks.
Tourneau filling in on the top line for Kyle Craddock, who went out in the third period last night with an injury. The Bobcats finally getting back to a clean bill of health entering this weekend. You hate to see Craddock out for Coach Hogan's kids, but they're doing a good job not missing a beat here as Timmy Tourneau has stepped in admirably. And Chastain in the Bobcat zone possesses the puck up to Borowski. Over to Holt, and the Eagles will have possession here as Jimmy Thomas watches that puck come to the bottom of the crease. Could not find its way through to number 30. The Bobcats go the other way with it. Sean Bayard getting in the action in the middle of the ice, loses the puck to the Eagles, and he will retreat to the bench.
We saw him step up a lot on the rush last night. None of that so far this game from number 14, but he's still having a presence in this game, throwing the body around. Physical game, as always, from Sean Baird.
Stretch pass from Houston over to Brian Lubin. The two cannot connect. Picked off by Alex Anderson and turned around. The Bobcats in the neutral zone. Lose the puck to Anderson once more. Number 25 will come through the zone for the Eagles. Around Nick Gross to the net. Cannot get the shot off as Jimmy Thomas watches on. Trying to get back in position is 30. Jimmy Thomas. That puck will come up to Nick Rizzo at the top of the zone.
Alex Anderson, very skilled, almost sneaks one past Thomas. Had an assist last night, the first goal of the game for Robert Morris. Watch out for Alex.
Back in his own end is Nick Rizzo. Up along to Brett Lepic. Shot there by number 18. Wide of Thomas left. To the corner goes the play. And Lepic loses the puck to Harkins. Out of the zone on an attempt to Cody Black. Matt Rudin picks it up at the blue line and moves it to the corner before coming off for a change. Elmore keeping the puck in the zone, collecting it, and working it in the corner. Up top for Tom Evans. Blocked there by Lepic, and out come the Eagles. They will have an on-man break here if they can get it to it. Brett Lepic shot, saved by Thomas, and he'll fall on it for the whistle.
Like you mentioned, Shane, looked like Robert Morris is going to have an odd man rush there, but good job by Gabe Lampron to get back into that play after being down on the other end of the ice and even that up, take away that good scoring chance for Robert Morris, able to just get a easy shot for Jimmy Thomas to stop off. 2-1 Bobcats, still 17:50 remaining in this game.
Black wins the face-off, up to Gabe Lampron and out of the zone. Connor McGovern collects at the red line and sends it back to Reed Kelly. Played on by Garrett Elmore in his own end. He turns with it before Harrison Cole picks off his attempt and sends it back into Jimmy Thomas's end. Nick Nani down low, facing pressure from Tom Evans. Fiala now applying the body on Nick Nani. Up and a shot there from Sam Turner. Puck loose in the crease, and Thomas sprawls on it for the save.
Tom Evans might have just saved a goal there for Ohio. He got tied up in front of the net with what looks like Nagny, and that puck was right by Nagny, and it was a rebound given up by Thomas, wide open net, but Tom Evans able to tie him up, taking a penalty, it looks like maybe for Ohio. No, he's just going to skate to the bench, excuse me, but great play by number 5 there.
And the Bobcats staying physical in their own end, directing play away from Jimmy Thomas's crease. One on by Ohio and out of the zone, off the dump off the glass by Drew Crandall. And Matt Rudin with the puck down low, up to the top of the zone there for Drew Crandall. Could not get a piece of it. And Harrison Cole will deliberate. Over to Kelly, to the other side of the ice for Koch. In comes Koch. Shot blocked by the Bobcats into the netting and out of play for a whistle.
16:50 remaining here in regulation. Robert Morris has climbed back in front on the shot clock, 22-21. Looks like Nate Chastain's going to step back onto the ice. He stepping up this weekend, having a good weekend of hockey here. That's certainly someone to keep your eye on if you're watching this game.
Holt with the puck off the face-off win for the Eagles. Behind the net for Chastain and Burback. Around the Burback and toward the slot was Malsby. He could not collect it. And back out to the neutral zone goes the puck. And a sandwich there by Matt Rudin and Zach Frank. Bobcats get the puck. Picked off by Burback in Jimmy Thomas's territory. And played along to Sean Baird on the other end of the ice. We'll get a whistle here as a couple guys tumble. Sean Baird and Cody Malsby tangled up with each other there.
Looks like we're going to have a hand pass called, and this puck is going to be coming on a face-off outside of the zone. Shane, Ohio has started this period off a little bit slower than they have the first and the second. Ohio usually comes out playing very fast, very quick game of hockey, north-south, but not so much here in this period, more of a defensive neutral zone game.
About 4 minutes gone in the third. Ohio nursing a 2-1 lead as they win the face-off in their own end. Evangelisti circles as the play comes back toward Jimmy Thomas. Brett Lepic, shot blocked there by Houston. And Mike Palacios collects the puck at his feet. Up along goes Pulisic. And out of the zone to Evangelisi. Great effort by number 28. Evangelisi steals the puck from Anderson and moves it back to his defenseman.
Good chip in by Tourneau right there to force that face-off. Timmy Tourneau playing very well on the first line here this weekend. Would not be surprised if he finds a point by the end of this game.
And a cover by Cole Semchak means that face-off will come out to the left of RMU's goaltender in the Eagles' end. Evangelisi still out here for the Bobcats. He wins the face-off cleanly to Jake Houston. Deposited to the corner for Timmy Tourneau. And around the end for Gianni Evangelisi. Evangelisi still has the puck on his stick, facing pressure from Nick Rizzo. The two tie up along the corner. Out to Ryan Martin goes the puck. And up along for Alex Anderson. The two connected last night on the Eagles' first goal. And they will chase on as Jake Houston watches Ryan Martin over to the other side of the ice. Evangelisi with a skill play around Mike Rizzo. Could not connect with a Bobcat on the other side. The Eagles will go the other way with it. Sam Turner has the puck with space. Shot there by Turner. Saved by Jimmy Thomas. Cannot control the rebound. And another shot by Josh Hart. Up to Rizzo, and he cannot keep it in. Jimmy Thomas making a big save as Sam Turner was able to sneak in around the Bobcats defenseman.
All right, boys, let's go. Let's give them some support out there.
Great play there by Fowl to get in that passing lane, Shane.
Josh Hart flips one over the cage. Matt Rudin collects it. Up to Jake Houston. He falls to the ice, and he took a stick to the face, clutching and grabbing as he collects himself and gets back up. Yanni stops. Jake Houston pressures him, sandwiches Yanni with Brian Lubin. McGovern with the puck. Over to Stover. To the red line and into the Bobcat zone. Played on by Tom Evans. Puck intercepted by the Eagles. Reed Kelly now with it. To the corner for Cacciato. And Kelly, Cacciato, and Koch out here for the Eagles. Keeping the puck on the stick of the maroon and gold. Jake Fiala off the dump in. Picks the puck up and moves it out of the zone.
Ohio playing a little sloppy in their own end right now, having some problems getting it out right there. They got to clean that up. Robert Morris will take advantage of that.
13 and a half minutes remaining in this contest. Ohio with a 2-1 lead here on Mike Pulisic's 2-goal night to this point. Cody Black with speed as he picks up the puck. He walks over the blue line, centers one for Gabe Lampron. Number 23 takes a tumble as he made his way to the crease. Bobcats will get the puck in, and it will go out of play for a whistle.
Cody Black's had a couple of nice scoring opportunities. Another one right there today. Number 18 having himself a good weekend. A little bit smaller than a lot of the players we see here in the ACHA, but Cody Black always contributing. Good defensive forward, shows a lot of grit for the Bobcats.
Cody Black with only 1 goal on the season. You'd like to think that there's more in the tank for number 18. I bet you he is gnawing at the fact that he only has 1. Like to get on the board for the Bobcats to see if he can do it here tonight and give his team a win. Dylan Holt dumps the puck into the other side as the Eagles enter the Bobcat zone. Played on by Borowski at the point. Down low to Burback. A pass up to Borowski once more. Again to the corner. This time Chastain chases it. Walks to the other side of the ice and leaves it there. Cody Black facing pressure from Burback. And Black comes out with it. He falls to the ice as Burback applies the pressure again. Turnover there to Sam Turner. And that puck was whistled dead, although it didn't seem that Jimmy Thomas had a handle on it.
There's another bad call by the officials. Jimmy Thomas clearly did not have that puck frozen. Ohio has caught a series of breaks this week, and there's another example of one. That one hit him right in the 5-hole, just dropped down right in front of the crease. That one might have crossed the line, been partially over the goal line. Ohio catching a huge break late in this game, 12:27 remaining in regulation.
And Ohio's fourth line out here to settle things for the Bobcats. Nick Gross off the faceoff wing, collects the puck and moves it up for Tyler Harkins, who gets it out of the zone. Jimmy Thomas cannot keep the puck behind the net. It'll come to a corner for Ryan Martin. And Ryan Martin And Jake Houston battle down low. Up to Anderson before the Bobcats pick it off. That was Zach Frank. Out for Drew Crandall. Over to Tyler Harkins and into the zone. Go the Bobcats. Scordelis with the puck. He takes a whack, and Ryan Martin will lose his stick. We're going to get a penalty here on Ohio. Not what the team needed, as number 3, Ryan Martin, lost his stick. I think it's going to be a slashing penalty.
Yeah, Jake Houston off to the box, and clearly frustrated. Jake is having a frustrated weekend. He's found himself in the box a few times here. Big kill coming up for Ohio. They've been pinned in their own zone for much of this period. Got to have a good penalty kill here. They've had a couple of scoring opportunities, actually, Shane, on these shorthanded breaks. We'll see if they can find some here. Definitely need it. Up only a goal here.
We saw RMU get on the board on the shorthanded opportunity last night. Ohio would love to do the same here as RMU heads back to the man advantage, looking to tie this hockey game up. Dylan Holt falling on the puck again. That's the 3rd time this man has done that tonight. You'd like to think that sooner or later he's not going to be able to get away with it. That puck stays in the zone as the Eagles drive the crease. Burback high off the boards, over to McGovern. To the hash for Burback again. Sent to the other side of the ice for Holt. And Holt walks to the middle. Over to Chastain. Shot by Burback off the one-time feed. Might have caught a corner of the crossbar and post area, and it goes out of play.
You get the feeling that if that pass is a little bit more on the money, Gavin Burback would have had a good chance to bury that one right in a great scoring position in front of Jimmy Thomas, but sends that one far too wide, goes down to a knee, out of play.
And a minute
12 remaining.
A minute 22 remaining on the power play for the Eagles, looking to get on the board for the first time tonight on the man advantage, as Burback dumps it over to McGovern. Back to McGovern at the top of the zone. Down low to Chastain, and cycled to Sam Turner. He will walk with it. Turner deliberates, shoots. That puck trickles through the crease. Jimmy Thomas able to stay in front of it as it comes back out to Holt at the top of the zone. Over to Turner again. Nate Chastain tried to set up a man in the slot, and that comes out to the point again. A couple Bobcats falling over each other as Holt unleashed a shot that went into the netting.
Yeah, Timmy Trudeau, a big sliding save, caught him right around the ankles. Timmy Trudeau having one of his best games in green and white that I've seen him have, Shane. Unable to find the score sheet just yet, but a huge block right there. Has had offensive contributions all night.
And with 51 seconds remaining on the power play, Ohio will counter with Gianni Evangelesti and Matt Rudin up top. Fiala and Hazel down low. Stover with the puck. Feeds it to Cole. Anderson now with it in the corner. Martin collects it. Back to Anderson. Walking is number 25, Alex Anderson. Faced a body there by Grant Hazel, and he will sauce it out of the end board. Back into Cole Semchak's ice.
Good penalty killing there by Ohio. They needed to get a change. Good clear there by Hazel.
Harrison Cole up along to Ryan Martin, poked ahead for Alex Anderson. And he applies pressure as Sean Bayard gets to the puck first. Stover walking with it. Back down low to Malsby. Shot by Malsby. That one trickles out to the other side as Jimmy Thomas was ready for it.
I think Alex Anderson might have gotten a stick on that shot too as well, Shane.
Anderson has the puck on his stick again. That is Ryan Martin with the shot. Save again by Jimmy Thomas. Scordelis sends one to the net. It is loose down low. The Bobcats cannot find it. Picked up by the Eagles. Behind Thomas again, that is Malsby. To the corner for Ryan Martin.
Great forechecking by Robert Morris right now, Shane.
Martin with a skilled play, working around Matt Rudin. Shot again by Scordelis and covered by Thomas. And some pushing and shoving ensues. Cody Malsby looks as though he's injured. Cody Malsby feeling the pain here as he's hunched over. I'm not sure if he caught a puck. He's grabbing his knee.
Him and Sean Baird got tied up after that play, Shane, but a good stop by Jimmy Thomas there to freeze that puck. Ohio needed a break. They needed some fresh legs, needed a face-off win. Got to get the puck out right now.
And lost in all the scrum is the fact that the Bobcats just killed off that power play for the Eagles. So back to even strength hockey here. With 9:24 remaining in the period, Ohio still ahead 2-1, but RMU has come out hot in the third period, out shooting the Bobcats 9-1 to this juncture. Houston dumps it in, and it is picked up by Nick Rizzo. Scordelis off the boards to Nick Yanni. And the Eagles cannot possess the puck. Ohio will take it in its own zone. Houston loses the puck to Brett Lepic. Lepic cannot do much with it. Nate Gross tries to get it to the boards, and he's able to do just that as Garrett Elmore plays it along to Cody Black, dumped in by number 18 and settled by Semchak.
Ohio's having a tough time getting to the middle of the ice when they enter the zone. It seems like every time they get into the zone, it's along the end boards.
Come on, boys, we put up one shot.
Nick Yanni able to direct it back into the green and white's end. Settled there by Zach Frank, and he shoots the puck. Almost a beautiful feed on the dump in by the Bobcats, connecting with Zach Frank through the middle of the ice. Mike Palasic's now with the puck on his stick. And he falls as Nick Rizzo applies pressure. That puck out of play and into the stands for a whistle. 8:13 remaining in the contest. 2-1 in favor of Ohio.
Big face-off upcoming here for Ohio. They've only managed one shot in this period, like you said. I would maybe look at a quick play off the face-off here. They have Jake Viola out there right now, who we know is a good shot. Him and Tom Evans have been on the same page all night offensively. Let's see if they attempt a shot from the point here if they win this face-off.
Zach Frank, a very good face-off man for the Bobcats. Has done an admirable job on the fourth line. Loses this one to the Eagles. And RMU takes it to the corner. Reed Kelly in along the hash up to Tom Evans. He'll be able to keep that in. A fan by number 5. And is picked off by the Eagles out to the neutral zone. Dump back in, and Frank will chase on. Borowski facing a mountain of pressure from Zach Frank. Koch off the glass, back out to the neutral zone and into the Bobcats' end.
Shane, we're just under 8 minutes right now. This would be a huge victory if Ohio can hold off Robert Morris as we have a stoppage in play as that puck goes off one of the many banners here at Byrd Arena.
Multiple championship banners here at Byrd. It would be nice to add another one this year, Ethan. Ohio ever so close to capturing a national championship last year, falling in the championship game to Central Oklahoma. This is a great barometer for how they will stack up against competition this year. RMU, number 5 in the country, has proven to be a very formidable hockey squad.
Yeah, do not be surprised, folks, if we see these teams meet further down the line in the ACHA tournament.
RMU falling to University of Michigan Dearborn last year in the first round, a 4-3 overtime victory for the Wolverines, and was a thriller. They're looking for a better fate this time around too, at 13-4-1. They seem to be out to a good start. Tyler Harkins off the boards.
Smart play by Harkins, just bank that puck off the boards, get it out.
Sam Turner with the feed into the Bobcats' end. Grant Hazel counters and sends it back towards Semchak. We'll get an ice here with 7:05 remaining in the contest.
Ohio is playing back on their heels right now. They're getting fierce pressure from the Robert Morris Eagles. It seems like the puck has been in front of Jimmy Thomas's end from us the entirety of this period. Ohio barely any scoring chances this period, if any scoring chances at all, Shane.
Still only one shot in the period for the Bobcats. It came early on, and ever since, Robert Morris has continued to apply the pressure with 9 shots of their own. Bobcats looking to reverse that misfortune here as Brian Lubin able to get the puck out. And you're right about that, Ethan. They do look to be playing on their heels. They need to start being more of the aggressor over the last couple minutes here.
At the same time, they have to be very conservative, make sure they don't stay out of the box, take any bad risks. Robert Morris will make you pay for it. We've seen that plenty of times this season and this weekend already.
Offsides play there as Reed Kelly was in over the line, and a late hit on Ryan Martin by Matt Rudin. And some more jawing between both sides here as Martin went down on the play.
Yeah, a bit of a late hit there by Grant Hazel.
Haven't seen any calls yet. Both sides With 5 on the ice, it looks as though that one will go unwarranted. But regardless, you don't want to have it for Ohio. We just talked about being conservative and playing smart. That was not the right way to go about it.
Yeah, we've heard Sean Hogan a few times this period warn his players about taking bad penalties from the bench.
Nick Gross cannot grab that puck out of the air. Brett Lepic with it in the corner now. Nani watches on as Floro comes in to help. Excuse me, that was Josh Hart. Hart now with the puck. Up top to Dylan Holt. Over to Borowski. Shot by Borowski. High over the head of Jimmy Thomas. Back to the corner for Hart. The assistant captain leaves it for Brett Lepic. He will fall to the ice, and the Bobcats will race the other way with it. Evangelesti around Holt. With speed comes number 7. He has a man creasing the other side. Shot! Buried on the backhand! And give me a plate of spaghetti, Gianni. That was an absolute beauty.
A beautiful goal from Gianni Evangelesti. Wicked finish in hands. Boborowski, I'm not sure what he was thinking. He just attempted to finish a check after that play. I'm sure Evangelesti having some words with him there, letting him know that he did, in fact, score that goal. A huge break for Ohio. They don't ask how, they ask how many. On just their second shot of the period, Ohio able to bury it. Gianni Evangelesti, what a skill play. No wonder this guy has so many points.
His second point of the night, moving him to 28 on the season. That was his 11th goal of the campaign. Gianni Evangelesti showing why he is a CSCHL leader in points, game-changing speed, deliberate hands, and a head fake that would make anybody a little sick.
Yeah, that was one of many skill goals and one of many more skill goals I'm sure we will see Gianni Evangelesti score this season, and before his time is over here in the green and white. Just a sophomore. You talk to this kid, you get a sense of how focused on the game of hockey he is and how focused on life he is. Definitely an asset for Ohio. Big 2-goal lead here. Still time for Robert Morris, though.
That gives Ohio a little bit of a cushion here with about 5 minutes remaining in the game. Although, as we've mentioned many times, Ethan, a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey.
I'll probably mention it one more time before we're done with this broadcast, Shane. It certainly is.
Nick Rizzo with the puck in his own end, turns off Cody Black and goes the other way with it. Nick Rizzo with another spinorama. To the middle of the ice for Burback. Shot by Burback, saved by Jimmy Thomas, and he'll fall on it. Gavin Burback with the quick release. Jimmy Thomas with an even quicker glove.
Gavin Burback going right to the net. Jimmy Thomas took a little swipe at him. Thankfully for Ohio, that went undetected. 5:03 remaining in this game. Who's going to step up? For Robert Morris, they need someone to step up right now. A lot of scoring opportunities they've had this period, but no finishes.
Looks as though Mike Palasic will get the assist on Gianni's goal. That was Mike's 3rd point of the evening. And Ohio, with its 3rd goal, looking to seal the deal here with 5 minutes remaining. Both sides with 1:18 remaining on matching penalties. And Ohio now with space. Sean Bayard works it out of the zone over to Garrett Elmore. Walking in his Elmore, shot by number 20 off the shoulder of Cole Semchak into the netting for another whistle.
It's a very hard shot by Garrett Elmore. I was not aware he could shoot the puck that hard. I mean, that one was let go. Wow.
With that frame, it doesn't really surprise me, to be honest with you. They're just a 6'5" man with plenty of size to give. Garrett Elmore has been a weapon for Ohio this season, especially in the goal department. With 5 goals in the campaign, he is a versatile forward. And a sandwich there by Sean Bayard at the top of the zone. Arm up for the ref. Ryan Martin still collecting his spirits there as he was absolutely bulldozed.
Huge hit by Bayard. He has a big grin smile on his face. That's got to be a good feeling. Looks like we're going to have a Robert Morris Eagle going off of the box. I know someone gave Bayard a little slash after that hit. Costly penalty for the Eagles at this point in their game.
Dylan Holt guilty as charged on the slash. We've seen a lot of slashing calls here tonight. That is very similar to what we've seen in the NHL this year. Rest at all leagues look to be cracking down on that slashing penalty.
Yeah, maybe that's something that came down from the top, and you see a lot of consistency with the rules all the way down this level of hockey, pee-wee hockey, junior hockey, what have you. Definitely, like you said, cracking down on that particular infraction this year, Shane.
The Bobcats will take it. They are on the power play here, looking to score their 4th of the evening and put a cherry on top of what could be a very sweet victory.
Yeah, you get the sense if Ohio bangs one in here, it could be the dagger in tonight's contest.
Frank and Harkins work the puck low. Over to Houston, one-time shot, and he buries it! Give me that goal, Jake. What a beautiful shot from Houston. Down on one knee with the arrow, sends it to the rafters. And even prettier celly by number 11. Just what the doctor ordered. And perfect timing as we talked about Ohio scoring its 4th goal.
And who better to get that goal than number 11, Jake Houston. Had a tough game last night, but was wide open on the weak side of that power play. That's a dangerous power play shot, Rip. Ohio is up 3 with 4:14 left. You might see Ohio go into kind of a prevent defense, if you will, right now, as a timeout has been called by Robert Morris, just trying to get something going here. We'll see how long Semchak stays in that net or if they decide to pull him at all.
That was Houston's 4th goal of the season, his 3rd on the power play, Ohio's 2nd power play goal of the evening, answering their critics here tonight as they had gone scoreless in their last 3 games on the man advantage, coming out and getting off the schneid in a big way here tonight. A 4-1 lead for Ohio, and this is exactly what I was thinking, Ethan. We were talking about flipping the script in the pregame. This is an identical flip of the script. Last night, RMU was up 4-1. Ohio now taking a 4-1 lead themselves.
Yeah, kind of eerie how the similarities have worked out in this game. 53 seconds into both games, we saw a goal, and then in the 3rd period, one team pulls away 4-1. It was Robert Morris last night. Tonight, it is these Bobcats, and they're in a great position to split here as Robert Morris. Should have been tough if they only got 1 or no points out of this weekend series.
And you get a sense that Coach Hogan will definitely take a split this weekend. He's cognizant of the fact that RMU is a good, formidable opponent. The Bobcats have played a lot of tough hockey games here, and they've won a majority of them. So losing 1 to Robert Morris is not the end of the world, but getting this victory here tonight is definitely a big deal for Ohio. Places with the puck around. Oh my goodness, a big hit on Harrison Cole by Nick Gross. He's tied up with number 7 as the Eagles go the other way with it. Jake Houston stealing the puck off McGovern and losing it to Cole at the Eagles blue line. Houston still down on the ice as Cole walks the other way with it. Stopping and starting is Cole, and the intensity is picked up here over the course of the last 3 minutes. You can sense the desperation by the Eagles.
Yeah, it's certainly a physical game. They're just trying to get anything going right now.
Evangelesi, cross ice, picked off by Connor McGovern into the seats. Make sure everybody's all right over there.
Compared to other ACHA arenas, if you've never had a chance to be here at Bird Arena and check out a game, the stands are extremely close to the ice. It's a very small building, just 1,000 capacity, and oftentimes when we see that puck go up into the stands, it's a very dicey situation. No one looks to be injured here, but if you do ever come out to a game of Bird Arena, PSA, pay attention. Not a lot of room in this building. The stands are very close to the game.
Yeah, I'm surprised we don't see more of those injuries here at Bird. These fans are literally sitting on top of the action. And we've seen this in the MLB where they've extended the netting. Hasn't come to hockey yet, but those pucks keep coming out of the zone like that and out of the play. Sooner or later, you might catch one. But 3 minutes and change remaining in the contest. Nick Nani over the blue line for the Eagles into the Bobcats territory. Rudin turns with it and sends it back the other way. We'll get an icing call. Coach Hogan not happy about that, jawing on the bench as he thought the refs blew that whistle a little too early.
Yeah, it looks like it was very close, but nonetheless, I think you'll take that right now at this point in the game. If you're Ohio up 3, just looking to be very conservative on defense, get the puck out.
With 2:55 remaining here, Ethan, do you envision Robert Morris pulling their goaltender at any point? Do you think they'll leave him in?
I think you gotta. I mean, they've been pretty successful when they've gone up a man this weekend. If they get any sustained pressure in Ohio's end, or if they get one, certainly I think that's something they would consider.
We shall see. Time winding down in the game. As we mentioned earlier, Mike Placis with 2 goals. It would be kind of nice if he was able to pot another here for the hat trick. But Ohio will take whatever it can get, including a victory here, in whatever form it comes. McGovern out of his own zone, through the neutral and into the Bobcats' end. Played up to Garrett Elmore, lost it to Dylan Holt at the top of the blue line. Trickling through a couple of Bobcats, and played on by Jimmy Thomas. He is taken out on the play. No whistle as the rest missed that one. Jimmy Thomas certainly not happy with that. As we get down to 2 minutes here, Connor McGovern over to Dylan Holt. Picked off by Cody Black, but he cannot keep the puck on his stick. Nick Nani able to dump it in. Elmore goes past a sprawling Nick Rizzo, who dumped it on the ice. And a penalty here as Elmore falls to his feet. We'll get a whistle as the Eagles touch up.
Yeah, I think Elmore may have been instructed trying to go to the net there. Looks like Alex Anderson, number 25 in your programs, is going to be going off to the box. I will spend the rest of regulation on the power play.
2 minutes for hooking for number 25, Alex Anderson. Elmore was brought down on the play on the attempt to the net. And Ohio, with 2 power play goals, will get one more opportunity to really put the bruise on RMU and come out with a big victory here in front of the Bird Arena faithful.
And a bigger victory it would be, Shane, to split start these next week of standings right where we entered this weekend.
Houston has the puck off the win for Ohio. At the top of the zone is number 11. Fakes one way and goes to Harkins. Harkins has trouble collecting the puck, able to work it back to Houston. The Bobcats converge at the top of the zone. Over to Frank, down low. Tyler Harkins with the puck. Back to Frank in the slot, shot by number 21. Did not make its way through. Another one by Crandall as he turns and sends it to Semchak. We'll get a whistle here as Ryan Martin is separated from a couple Bobcats.
Yeah, Ryan Martin's been in the action all night. Looks like he's going to be going off to the box and just go off the ice and leave this game. Only 2 minutes left. Referees have had enough of Ryan Martin today.
And at this point, it's probably trivial, but Ohio with a 2-man advantage and a minute and 13 to work with. You don't want to run up the score, but the way this game has been going tonight and the way these games have been going this weekend, it would be a little sweet to get one more.
Looks like Zach Frank also went off to the Bobcats locker room as well, Shane. Zach Frank, we saw him go off last night's game at a similar point. He had some words as he walked by the bench there of the opposing team, Robert Boyes. Zach Frank, feisty guy.
Cody Black comes on as the 5th man, and Ohio continues its man advantage. A minute 30 left on the power play and a minute left on the clock. The Bobcats will battle in the corner and try to keep it there as time runs out on the Eagles. Ohio directs it to the top of the zone. That is Houston available for the pickup. Shot there on the one-timer by Hazel. And feeling that was Josh Hart getting in front of that. Hazel sneaking through the slot. Another attempt by number 3. He falls to the ice. And he is bowled over by Harrison Cole. The Bobcats still have the puck over to the other side and picked off in the middle by Nick Yanni. And RMU will get it out of the zone. Grant Hazel, a sneaky play there, getting past a couple defenders to the slot.
Yeah, we usually don't see him that deep down the ice in the slot all alone. Unfortunate for number 3, he couldn't carry that one.
Ohio has 20 seconds separating them from their 15th victory of the season. Brett Lepick and Jake Houston exchange words as the Cats are offsides on the play.
Lepick and Houston. A number of guys have been having friendly rivalries all night. I'm sure some of this will carry over to the next time these two teams met. They will meet again this season.
And for the Bobcats, Gianni Evangelisti, Garrett Elmore, and Mike Palasics are up top. Baird and Fiala down low. Some quick passing by the unit. Gets the puck deep again. And with 10 seconds left, Ohio will celebrate its 15th victory of the season here in front of a packed house at Bird Arena on Teddy Bear Toss night. Really special event. And they saw it early on as Mike Palasics was able to get a goal in the first minute to unleash the Fury of Bears.
Yeah, he got another goal in there too. Great offensive game from Mike Palasics. I've been not be surprised at all if he is the first star at the end of this one.
And the two teams will drop the puck, and that will be that. Jimmy Thomas raises his arm in jubilation as the Bobcats come away with a big 4-1 victory here tonight. Ethan, exactly what the doctor ordered for Coach Hogan. They were on the wrong side of the same score yesterday, able to answer RMU tonight. Last year we saw these two teams play 4 games against each other, 16 goals aside. In the early going, the first 2 games this weekend, 5 goals apiece. So very evenly matched hockey game. Both sides get a victory, but more importantly, Ohio avenges the loss from yesterday.
Yeah, how strange is that, right? That statistic you just mentioned. The last 5 times these teams have played, both tied at 21 goals. I mean, that's just odd. Like, we don't see a lot of that at all. But these teams could not be any more evenly matched. You look at both of the games, 4-1 games. It sounds like it's not as close as it actually was. But no, these were close hockey games until the third period. Much closer than the score indicates. But give credit to Ohio, able to put this game away like Robert Morris was last night. Huge win to avoid the sweep. That would have been bad news for Ohio. Look forward to Delaware here next weekend at Bird Arena.
The Blue Hens in town to face the Bobcats. It is very loud in here as Ohio raises its sticks in celebration. Mike Pulisic, as we mentioned, scoring the first goal just a minute into the contest to give Ohio an early lead. He adds another, and the Bobcats get one from Gianni Evangelisti and Jake Houston on the power play to cap off a big night for Ohio. A set of power play goals, their first in 3 games, getting that unit back on track. Coach Hogan putting Jimmy Thomas in net yet again, and he steps up big. 29 of 30 saves for number 30, his 14th victory of the season, moves Ohio to 15-4-1 and ahead of Robert Morris in the CSCHL.
Yeah, a couple of guys with feel-good performances, feel-good bounce-back performances. Jimmy Thomas, like you said, comes to mind. Had a tough game last night, let in 4 goals. Had a much better game here tonight. Only lets in 1. One he didn't really have that much of a chance on. What are you going to do? Jake Houston as well. Man, it was good for me to see him score. Obviously a frustrating night for him last night. He just benched about halfway through the third period, able to come back, respond with a power play goal tonight. A number of things good come from that. They get the power play moving. And, good stuff from number 11. Good stuff for all the Bobcats. Sean Baird with a huge hit in the third period, too. One of the biggest hits we've seen this season.
Sean Baird is a physical presence on the back end for Ohio. A very nice complimentary piece to their first 2 defensive pairings. Tom Evans looked really good on the first defensive pairing tonight with Jake Fiella. Didn't exactly wow the crowd here at Bird Arena, but he stayed within himself, played a very Tom Evans-like game, and he was steady Eddie on the back end for the Bobcats. And their forward unit, especially the 4th line, I thought played really well tonight. Drew Crandall, Zach Frank were in the mix the entire game, allowed Ohio to roll 4 lines like they've been so accustomed to doing over the last couple of years. And that opened the ice up for guys like Evangelisti, who was able to find the back of the net.
Yeah, what a goal there by Evangelisti in the third. I mean, you give him enough time and space, he's going to make you pay. And eventually, Robert Morris had to find that out the hard way this weekend. Absolutely magical stuff from number 7, Gino's stick. A great weekend of hockey here at Bird Arena. Ohio able to come away and break that 7-game winning streak that Robert Morris had. I mean, 7 games, that is not easy to do in the ACHA, and that was a tough winning streak. It was a winning streak in which Robert Morris played a lot of tough opponents. Iowa State, Lindenwood, Ohio, they beat once on that winning streak, and Ohio able to take care of business here tonight. Got off to kind of a rough start there in the first. Second period very closely matched, but able to prevail here in the third period, despite not playing a lot of the game in their own end. And I think that says a lot about this team, how they're able to weather the storm and then score when they can. It's clutch, Shane. It is clutch.
Outshot for the 2nd time in as many days. The Bobcats didn't let it get him down, as you mentioned, snapping Robert Morris's 7-game winning streak, the 2nd longest in the ACHA this year behind Illinois. So that was nice for Ohio to be able to knock them down a peg. But like we mentioned, Delaware here next week, and going to be another tough matchup for the Bobcats. We will have all the action for you here on ABW Presents Hockey. With Ethan Graham, I'm Shane Dazen, and we would like to thank you all very much for watching tonight's broadcast. We'd like to thank our casting crew for doing such an admirable job. They pull it together every weekend for us against all odds. Sometimes it's not pretty, but we get it done, and we're having a great time doing it. And we like you guys watching, and we ask that you continue to trust the process here at Bird Arena. So thank you very much. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back at the same time, same place next weekend as Ohio takes on the Delaware Blue Hens.